outrageous.
It's over the wall. It's a home run for Bucky Bat. Fumble. Giants have it. Lawrence Taylor struck the ball.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes!
I can count all the times tried to read but fell apart. Stood proudly with nothing to prove. Well, here's a vicious good. The world is against me. Am I now too old to pray to prevail? Hallucinating impossible dreams. Am I delusional? It takes very small steps to get over myself and stop doubting, running. Should I keep on trying? Or if I'm only moving backwards, still this dark, evil and black world. My heart rate rising. I feel the heat and another beat. Should I throw it all away? My weary soul is crying out. Don't fade away and never be afraid. I strive for faith to go. My way, please go my way. Look at all the days I lost, the fun I missed, 'cause I was too scared to risk. Am I not old, too weak to live my dream? Hallucinating impossible dreams. A delusional. It takes every small step to get over myself. I'm doubting, running. Should I keep on trying? If I'm only moving backwards, still the dark, evil and black world. My heart rate rising. I feel the heat and another beat. Should I flow? It's all away. My weary soul is crying out. Fade away and never be afraid. I strive for faith to go. My way, please go my way. Just let me breathe. Should I strive for faith to go my way? My way. But I'm nearing the deadline. Too soon. Too soon. Too soon.
Welcome to the Hot Rocket Sports Studios and another edition of the weekly video recap. The March 31st show kicked off with another unusual topic, golf. More specifically, Tiger Woods.
New York
York Yankee public address announcer Bob Shepard, who passed away this weekend at the age of 99.
Now batting for the American League from the New York Yankees, the shortstop, number 2, Derek Jeter.
With the players.
Come on, ride direct from hell.
But hey, enough of my yakking. What do you say? Let's boogie.
And that's my cue to start the show. Welcome to Thursday night, October the 21st in the year of 2021. And welcome to the Hard Rock and Sports Show, live from High Top Hard Rock and Sports Studios in beautiful, scenic Monroe, New Jersey. We are your weekly 3-hour. That's it, 3 hours each week. We get together and bring you the biggest news from around the world of hard rock, heavy metal, and, of course, the wide world of sports. And, guys, I appreciate you being here. It's dark out. I got you. So Jeff must be in trouble. Guys, welcome to another Thursday night. Guys, it's dark out there. It's the fall. It's still a little warm out there, but I hope you guys have had a great week, and we look forward to a nice weekend. Lots to talk about tonight. We got pro football, college football. We got baseball. I got a whole bunch of music topics this week for Jeff. We got so much to get to tonight, so many in the middle. And I want to apologize. I had forgotten about the interview with the guys from I can't say guys anymore, from the band Pressure. We're going to do a couple minutes with them about 7:45, live from Sweden. They have their new female singer. You just heard their video, Am I Too Old, which she appeared on. So we're going to get them on. Thanks to Sam Bone for bringing them on. We'll get them on for about 10 minutes tonight, 15 minutes. We got a lot to get to, but I do want to get them on. I love the band, and I love the video. And, of course, I want to talk to Ali and Simon. So looking forward to that happening about 7:45. But before that, we got Knicks kicked off last night, big win. Lots of great stuff on the NFL. Even though the Giants sucked, the Jets didn't lose. They didn't play, but they didn't lose. Lots to talk about the football world. Deshaun Watson maybe getting traded. We got lots of Giant stuff. We got the Yankees rehire Aaron Boone. We got 660,000 emails to date, and only John Gruden popped up. Boy, I tell you, that smells fishy to me. Why can't the Mets hire a president, GM, or coach at this point? Can't figure that out. Washington State football coach gets canned because he won't take the vaccine. Plenty of football news. Lots to go to. Red Sox, Dodgers. We got Rob Halford stuff. I got EVH. I got tons of stuff coming up. So I'm glad you guys are hanging in there with us tonight. Looking forward to. Remember, we're here also on Sunday mornings with the Sunday Audible. That's our weekly NFL preview show. Before you get to the other pregame shows, come to this one. And along with our good friend John Marhefka, we bring you 2 hours of football talk before the other guys. So come on, tune in to us every Sunday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Sunday Audible. Getting bigger every week. Thank you. And our numbers are exploding across the country, across the world. Our numbers are exploding, folks. We got people watching us in Uzbekistan, in Iran. We got 1% in Iran, Mongolia. We got people in Mongolia listen to us. Our numbers have leveled out in Israel. We have stayed the same for weeks, so I'm glad for our dedicated fans out there. But I want to talk to Jeff about all the places in the world that people are listening to the Hard Rock and Sports Show every Thursday night. So I'm rocking the Hulk Hogan shirt tonight because we're flexing it up big time. We got a big show. We're going to kick it off right now with the sexiest man on the other side of the screen. He is Jeff Talwinski, and he is my friend. What's up, Hefe?
What's up, man?
Kicking it up, big guy. What's going on?
Nothing.
Jeff, let's start the show off the right way. You seem a little down. I got a little pumped up. Jeff, give me a little Hulk Hogan. Jeff, give me a little. Can't do that. Jeff, how was your week? It
was all right. I was been concerned most of the week. I didn't want to say anything to anybody, but I've been concerned.
You're concerned?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even going to ask you what you're concerned about because it's going to be something foolish and ridiculous.
It's never anything foolish, Tom. I'm concerned for a friend.
You are? Do I know this friend?
You might.
I might.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is it somebody in our inner circle?
Maybe.
Okay. So maybe. You want to get it out on the air and have a little session?
I guess I will. I'm worried that my friend is lying to himself because he's a Giant fan and he doesn't want to accept that his team sucks. They got fucking destroyed. And I was as happy as a pig in shit on Sunday. Destroyed by what I called a double-digit victory.
You did.
Watch this. Watch this. You ready?
You did. Now you
That
feel
was
better?
right.
Yeah. All right. So listen, even a broken clock is right twice a day. That's all. I got it. You got it. I will bow to you. You got it right.
No. I don't want you to bow yet because I have more proof.
Proof
of what's going to happen.
There's no proof. The Giants. Listen, I have a huge announcement based on my fandom for the New York Football Giants, which I will announce at some point. Here's the notebooks back. I got it. The notebook's back. I got it. Don't worry. We're gonna get to the Giants in a little while. I promise. And by the way, you and your boy, the doctor, can stick your Malokia up wherever you want to put it. I could care less. But I want to make a big announcement on my Giant fandom a little later in the show.
All right. I hope it's worth. I hope it's worth it.
To me, I'm gonna. It's to me, it's life altering almost. It's almost life altering.
Maybe switching teams.
I'm not switching teams. Don't get your hopes up. But I do have, I would say, a rather big announcement for the New York Football Giants and my fandom over at this point in time. So we'll get to that later when we get to the Giants and Jets. We got plenty to talk about tonight. Lots of stuff happening in the news. Lots of stuff happening in sports. So we got some music stuff tonight, Jeff. We got lots to get to. We got lots to talk about. You know, Jeff, real quick, but I want to get my dad on nice and early. But you know, I was looking at tonight's. You know, most of the games this year on the London games and the Thursday night games have not necessarily been what you would call buzzworthy. You know, like, oh God, I got to get home for that game. Oh God. Now, in 1984, tonight's game would have been a huge football game. Broncos and the Browns, right? To me, in 1980s, you got Elway and Kosar, right? You got the Orange Crush defense or whatever they were known in the 80s, and you got Ernest Biner, and you got that whole team. A lot of, you know, the Dog Pound. You got Mile High. It's a great football game. Well, Jeff, tonight it ain't the same.
No, it's not the same. But you know what? You do have two up and coming teams.
I'm not sure I'm buying the Broncos as an up and coming team. I'll give you the Browns. Okay, but
maybe the Broncos are a year behind us, 2 years behind the Browns. But you know what? They're trending in the right direction. How's that?
How about this? Cleveland, I think we all had Cleveland near or at the top of their division, and they're 3-3, coming off another disappointing game.
Well, you know, it's only game 6.
I got you, but it's a little disappointing.
6 games. They're into the 7th week. They got 10 games left. I wouldn't call them a disappointment yet. There's going to be teams that are going to start to outdistance themselves in the next couple of weeks, without a doubt. Mm-hmm. Let's just see if they're strong enough to.
And the Broncos, I believe they won this week. They're now 3-3. They started out 3-0, so they're 1-3 in their last 1-2 their last couple of games. Again, I'm not calling either one of these teams. I'll call the Browns supposedly, and I picked them to win their division this year. So. But we'll see. But we'll get to, just to me, the buzz for these Thursday night games, even the Sunday. Although I'll tell you what, I don't know if you saw any of the highlights, but that Jaguar game on Sunday against the Dolphins was actually a decent football game, and they kicked the last minute field goal. They still win the game. I think everybody was a little surprised. So it wasn't the worst football game in the history of football games, but
I think they send the less desirable games.
Well,
to London.
Sure.
I don't think they know that they're not going to get the same numbers if that game was watched in the States. Did anybody really care about the Dolphins-Jaguars game?
No, I think I said that on Sunday as well, Jeff. I agree with you on your theory. I think that game's going to get a huge rating. One, it's a standalone game. It's all by itself. So people up in the morning, they got the TV on and they got the football game on. And across the world, especially in London and areas around there, it's a big deal. They're watching pro football. Why waste two good football teams or two great teams when you can stick anybody there and it's going to get huge ratings because of that?
Yeah, I agree, and it's a shame that it is what it is. But I don't know. If something happens on the way there or the way back, these looked at as disposable teams.
Well, I mean, I don't know if anybody's disposable, but I would just say sending them across the pond. I don't know if anybody cares if they get caught in the 2-week COVID, protocol. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure anybody gives a crap. Although the Dolphins are almost ready to be relevant again, and I'm going to ask you why. why are the Dolphins trying to trade for Deshaun Watson at this point? Unless you're getting it for next to nothing. Why would anybody trade for Deshaun Watson? He's obviously not playing this year. They're gonna have his whole thing early next year. There's a chance he might not play some or all of next year. Why would anybody?
There's a chance he might not play ever again.
True.
I would think.
So the last time I heard, the asking price was 3 number 1 picks. I mean, Jeff, even if it's 1 or 2 number 1s, are you giving up? If you're the Miami Dolphins, are you giving up that kind of package to get a guy who, like you just said, may never play again?
Me, no. I would not even think of it. No.
And it doesn't help you. It doesn't help your quarterback situation. I know right now everybody's down on Tua, and I agree. I said it when he came out. I was questioning his skill level for the pros. He has not played well. He's been hurt. But how does it help your situation to get a guy who might not play? Certainly, he's not playing this year. Might not play next year.
That's a good question. But ESPN did a short little thing on him, and it said all of the things that Deshaun or that Tua does not have. Mm-hmm. He does not have any receivers. The offensive line, there's issues over there, a whole bunch of different things. You'd have to look for the article. I should have wrote the stuff down that they had said. But basically, they're saying that the guy doesn't have a really good, solid team around him. That, like, they were comparing the Dolphins to Justin Herbert and the Chargers. And they were saying how the Chargers and everything are doing things to make a team around Justin Herbert, where Tua, they're not doing the same thing, the Dolphins. And listen, if you're not going to help your quarterback, you're hurting your quarterback. So whether it's Watson or Tua, if you're not building up the team, Deshaun Watson's just not going to come out of nowhere and then just wave his hand and all of a sudden they're magically going to be back in the race and be a team again. You know what I mean? So
I do, but Jeff, this team that was 10-6 last year, they got a first-round pick. They took a wide receiver out of Alabama. This isn't a team. They took Waddle. He's had a decent time. I mean, they're making some moves, but I think the problem was they made the wrong choice at quarterback when they could have had some of these other guys that you're mentioning now. And I think it's starting to show. I don't know if I'm blaming everything around him. I'm not saying he's got the best team around him, but they were 10-6 last year with him and a combination of
Patrick, right?
Yeah.
So, but it's if you haven't done much to improve the team, it doesn't matter who the quarterback is.
I agree.
They're not going to take off. That they may have had a decent first year because here's somebody that nobody knows anything about, and here he is in the NFL now, and he's playing at a high caliber.
Mm-hmm.
And then you don't get anybody to build around the team. So, I mean, listen, you need to go watch that article. If I can find it to you, I'll send it to you. I mean, it's a video. It's like a 1.5 minute video.
Yeah.
And it explains, and you'll be like, you know what? Yeah, they got a lot of, big points there, a lot of good points. But why go after Watson when you don't know if this guy's ever going to play again, much less play again this year, next year, the year after that?
Yeah.
Mosey's found guilty.
Well, that's the point. I mean, to me, if you tell me on a bet you're going to get Deshaun Watson for, a number 5 or a number 6 round pick and a player, let's say you're going to throw in a couple players or a player. All right, you want to take a gamble on it? I'm okay with that. But to give up a 1, even if it's 1 or 2 of them, or a 1 and a number 2, to get a guy who, again, like you just said, may never play for you, to me, that I can't see doing. It doesn't make you better right now. It may make you better 3 years from now, but if he's out for 2 years.
How old is Deshaun Watson?
Got to be 26, 27.
26, 27. Okay, so let's say he's 26 and he's not playing now.
Right.
Okay, and let's say that his legal problems get wrapped up next year.
Right.
And the NFL decides that they're going to make him sit for half the year.
Which is very possible, right.
Which is definitely very possible. That means it was a year and a half, almost 2 years. Well, let's call it a year and a half since he last played football.
Right.
That's a rough thing. It's not like he had a knee injury or whatever. After a while, is this guy even going to continue to try to train and everything else? Because he may be like, what's the point? It ain't worth it. Who knows? Will he be able to interact with that team?
Right.
if anything happens to him.
Well, if he's
Might not
suspended,
even be able to be near that team if he gets
exactly. Yeah, it's a great point because if you think about it, if he's out, and even if he got 6 games or 8 games next year, he'd be suspended and have to be away from the team. That would mean he's walking in mid-season with no football shape, not being around the team other than maybe having the playbook. And then what? You're going to throw him on the field a week or two later? It's never going to happen. You have to figure if he's suspended at all for more than 2 or 3 games next year. Now, he gets suspended for the season. It might mean he could practice in the offseason. That depends on how they handle it. But to me, he's out for 2 years. You're not getting him back to 23.
Yeah, that's a scary proposition. And that could definitely fuck the Dolphins up.
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt. There's no doubt. Yeah, it's interesting. And I'm going to tell you something, guys. We still got a lot to get you, a lot of football talk. We'll get you caught up on where everybody is right now. I also want to tell you that for one of the first times, I agree with Stephen A. Smith. We're going to get to that right after my dad. We still got the Yankees rehire Aaron Boone. We got Mets. We got football. We got Eddie Van Halen. We got plenty of music stuff. And again, 7:45, we got a couple minutes with the band Pressure. Simon and their is it Ollie Violet? Yeah, Ollie Violet will be joining us for a few minutes to talk about her joining the band and their new single, which I played to start the show, Am I Too Old? So, guys, stick around, hang in there. My dad's coming up right now, and we'll get back to a lot more music and football in a half a second. Let's get my dad on, Jeff.
Go ahead, man.
What's up, Pop?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Good,
How's
Dad.
everything going?
Good.
How you doing, Mr. Florio?
Hello, Jeff. How's everybody?
Good.
Yeah, I feel like Jeff. I'm watching. It's very hard not to root for any New York teams.
Mm-hmm.
It's very hard.
Yeah.
I can't blame the quarterback because you're taking a kid from college
Mm-hmm.
and you're putting them in with the pros. And I never understood how you can do that. That's why the baseball has different. I don't know. Maybe you guys have answers. I don't have answers.
Well,
I watch the quarterback. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying that is true. There's two. I don't know. Maybe Jeff will disagree, but I think there's 2 trains of thought. One is, let's throw him out there now and get all this experience. That way, he works together with the team, and you don't take you don't build the team up this year and then bring in a new quarterback next year and you take a step back. The other theory is the Patrick Mahomes way with Kansas City, where he rides the pine for a year behind a good veteran, and then he steps on the field to a team that's working its way up, and he's got a little bit of experience between practices, or maybe a couple of games. He gets a little time. So there's 2 schools of thought. Which one is right? Jeff, I don't know if there's a right or wrong. I think sometimes it just, how's it work out, Jeff?
Well, I mean, look at Mahomes' case. It worked out pretty well.
Right.
And not for nothing, his is a pretty high-profile position where he took a year to just sit back and watch and learn.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of these rookie quarterbacks from this year, Justin Fields, Zach Wilson, Trevor Lawrence, they pretty much just got thrown right into the fire. And I mean, was it Trevor Lawrence threw as many interceptions this year so far as he had in his whole entire college career or something like that? It was some whacked out number. And I mean, not for nothing, Zach Wilson, he just looks too little back there, man.
Yeah.
They should have put him off to the side and just keep eating until you grow a little bit. He just looks way too small and fragile to me.
Yeah, I'll say one thing. I know that you need a team of winning games. The Jets have had some times where at least they start to look competitive. This was the first week the Giants, I went and said this team was bad. It just was not competitive. They finally got their bell rung. Every other week, they hung in there. They resembled a respectable team. They just, they got bit in the butt. But this week, I look like they just never played the game before. So it is a little rough, Pop. I don't disagree with you. It has been a little rough to watch New York football. But you know what? I got to tell you, New York sports in general has been bad, Dad.
Yeah, but when my point is, like Jeff said with Mahomes, you took him, you put him on a decent team, and they improved themselves. He had a decent team.
Yeah.
You're taking a kid, 2 kids, and you're putting them in, and you're not even putting them on a viable team. I mean, you got teams that they stink for how many years now? And they're not even showing any kind of improvement. So you're putting these kids out, and they're going to wind up it's suicide. They're not learning anything.
Yeah.
They snap the ball, and they, it was Richard Todd all over again. Snap the ball and fall down. I don't see any improvement or anything like that.
Honestly, I think that has a couple different things. A lot of these teams, I think, feel as though they got to get these new quarterbacks out there as soon as possible.
Yes.
Because they're worried that the fan base is going to get antsy and like, where are they? As soon as there's an issue that, the starter throws an interception or has in Justin Fields' case, look what happened. They get an injury and be like, okay, get in there. And I don't think Justin Fields was supposed to even come on the field until the middle of the season. Trey Lance, they're in such a rush to get Trey Lance on the field. The guy's not doing anything. I think he's hurting himself. He's ranked like the 34th or 35th ranked quarterback right now in the NFL.
Yeah.
And how are you supposed to be helping his confidence? And why are you going to put your quarterback of the future in some of these fucking whacked out plays and take a chance of him getting hurt? That makes no sense to me.
No, I agree. I agree. Here's the point. Like that. Let's look at the Giants. I think up until this week, Daniel Jones has done a decent job. He's been competitive. He's held on to the ball. He's done a lot of the right. He hasn't put the ball in the end zone. But when I look around him, he's 3 of the starting 5 offensive linemen are out. His center's gone for the year. His starting right guard's gone for the year, and his left tackle just went out with a foot injury for 3 games. He's never had all his receivers and back at the same time. He's had a mishmash. At what point do you go, well, let's not play him? Then what's the alternative? So to me, I get your point. I don't want to run to get out there to get him killed. But what do? Say, you know what? Everybody else could play on a bad team. We're going to sit our quarterback because he's too important. You know what I'm saying? Like, so where do the Giants? You know what I'm saying? Like, where do you? Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. That's that's all.
No. What I'm saying I am not a New England fan at all. Okay, but you take that every time. It's like you said, they never had anybody, receivers or anything that you would say a Hall of Fame bound.
Correct.
Great, great catch receivers, but yet they're always in it every year.
Yeah.
So you have to say, well, why is that, and why the Giants and the Jets suck? They stink. And no matter what you put out there, you can have the full team out there. They still stink. And then you say to yourself, well, could it be who's ever doing the drafting or doing the trading?
Sure.
Because why are some teams every year, no matter what happens, they're competitive? They may not win, but they're competitive.
Well, here's what I'll say. I agree with you. There are a handful of teams, but I think New England, Jeff, is one you got to take out of the mix because I think they've done an exceptional job. I think they have the best coach of this era, maybe the second best coach of all time. Some people say the best coach of all time. I'll leave that to another discussion. But I think there are certain teams like Pittsburgh is fairly every year, maybe New Orleans up till this year, Jeff. But I think most teams go through this. Now, most teams aren't going through this for years and a decade, like the Giants, and maybe longer for the Jets. So I think my father's got a point. But I don't think this is just confined to New York teams and Jacksonville, and I think this is kind of league wide to a certain extent.
To a certain extent, yeah. But you want to know something? In the Giants situation, right? I said to you last Sunday that I wouldn't have played Daniel Jones because he was coming off a concussion.
Right.
Not a sprained ankle, not a hurt thumb, a concussion. So that I would have said, you know what? Listen, this team is going to beat us anyway. Just sit off to the side. You can't learn anything getting your ass kicked like that.
Especially when coming off a brain injury. Gotcha.
Well, yeah. But other aspects of the season, all right, maybe he's going to learn a little bit because the game was close. He's going to learn, okay, don't do this, don't do that, but you got to do this at this time. He could learn a little something. But even at that, you know what? Once the injuries start to pile up, it doesn't really matter who the quarterback is. They're not going to get anything. They're not going to learn anything. The defense isn't playing. The defense isn't playing to the way that it should on the Giants. Never mind the Jets. The Jets are just a waste. And there's a lot going on, and there's no help. No matter what they do, there's no help. That team is just starting to circle the drain already, and it's only week 7 for them. You know, it's a big thing, man.
I agree. I agree. There's a certain bit of let's be cautious. And I agree with you, Jeff. If the Giants would have sat Daniel Jones, I would have railed against it. But at the end of the day, I understand your point. You're shorthanded as it is, and you guys come off a brain injury. You're right. Not an ankle injury, not an arm issue.
Only because I say if you think that he's the man for the future,
agreed,
then you have to protect his long-term worth.
I would agree with
what
that.
What are you going to get out of him playing the Rams and losing by 20 points?
No, I agree with you. But I don't think I'll disagree with it. All of this is, the more he plays, the better he should get, because the game starts to slow down and you start to get, it's like muscle memory.
Of course, but do you think that Aaron Donald is going to slow down?
No. I agree with you for that game. No, I agree with you for the game. No. You're 100% correct. I would not argue your point for last Sunday's game. I think I'm just talking in general for the season. I would play him out there with whatever you got, because that's what you do. Now, again, are you running a risk? Of course you're running a risk. It's a risk every Sunday. But I think that back to your original.
If he was playing the Bears, or if he was playing the Browns, you know what I mean? Then yeah, get out there, go ahead, go play. You're playing the Broncos, go play the Vikings.
Yeah,
but let
me ask you this question. I'll ask you this. I want to ask my dad one more thing, Jeff. If the Giants were 4-1 instead of 1-4, and their season slipping away, do you think that might have had a different outcome of playing him in that game? 1-4, you're playing for your season. 4-1, you got a cushion. Do you think that if they had been a 4-1 team, they might have said, let's be a little extra cautious this week, or they said, hey, we got to run him out there because we got no chance without him?
I don't know. At 4-1, you're still in the first half of the season. You're 4-1, which would bring you down to 4-2. You'd still be 2 games over 500. You still have a chance. You were 1-5 or whatever, 1-5 going into that game. You're already 4 games under at that point in time. I just don't see, or 1-4. I'm sorry, right? Yeah. They were 1-4 now.
Out of 1-5, yeah.
Yeah, I just don't see the point of taking a chance with a brain injury.
I agree with you. I think 4-1, they would have sat him down saying, okay, we can give away a game if we have to. But
yeah, of course, you have a cushion.
Correct, but I think at 1-4, I think no matter what, he had to play because, of course, unless the doctor said he couldn't. The dad, going back to your original conversation, I think the reason that most of these young kids go out there and they get forced out there is because most of these teams who have these guys don't have a viable starting veteran or player who can go out there and be competitive. I mean, if the Giants didn't play Daniel Jones, I'm not watching Mike Glennon every week. So I think that you're kind of forced to play these guys because nobody has those. Back in the day, Roger Staubach had Danny White. There was a viable backup there. Phil Simms had Jeff Hostetler. Nowadays, you don't play your regular guy. The backup guy is probably giving you zero chance. I think that's why these guys are rushed onto the field so much.
Well, what's good with that theory is, let's put it this way. I watched that kid get hit not last week, the week before. I've never seen a guy couldn't get off. He looked like a drunk.
Yes.
And you take this kid who's and put him back in the next week. I'm sorry. You ain't going nowhere.
But time out. The one thing that nobody's talked about all week, the medical team came out and he theoretically, they said he was clear to play in the second half. If they wanted to run him back out there, medically he was fine. That's why there wasn't a big thing with him. He was practicing by Wednesday. So they basically said, he got his bell rung, but he didn't have a concussion.
Let me ask you a question, Tommy. First, I know you got people.
No, that's so good.
How much credit do you give to the medical staff that works for the NFL?
No,
they put their mother dying with cancer.
No. This again. I'm not telling you you're 100% wrong. I'm just saying this. These guys are independent from the team. They don't work for the NFL. They're contracted outside of the NFL to keep it impartial. That way, nobody in the NFL or the team has a financial or a stake in it. I'm not disagreeing with you, Pops. I'm not disagreeing, but I'm just saying is that they came out that essentially.
Let's put it that way. If that was my son playing, I'd do everything in the world to stop him.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you. Listen, I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying is medically, whether I would have played him or not, if I was the coach or if that was my son or if that was myself, I don't know. But I would just tell you that they came back and said, you know what? If you want to play him, you can. He's cleared to play. And they said, no, we're not playing him. He'll play next week.
I don't know how they do it.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I don't know.
Yeah, me
All right,
either.
I'm gonna let you go. I know you got guys.
Thanks, Pops.
Listen, enjoy yourself. I'll see you over the weekend.
I will see you.
Just take care. Say hello to your family for me.
I will, Mr. Florio.
That's my dad. See you later, Pop. That's my dad. He checks in every week with us. We love having him on the show. Brings some good points. That was a good point. We got about 10 minutes before I got. You know, Jeff, I want to bring up to you. Do you know that the Hard Rocket Sports Show is viewed around the world?
Yes.
Do you want to know the places that view the Hard Rocket Sports Show? Are you interested to know some of the countries that we have people paying attention to us? Are you interested?
Yeah, because it would be amazing to find out who actually watches this and why they don't say anything on the side here.
I don't know either, but I will tell you. Hold on a second. Let me get the dashboard up right now for you. I can actually bring the screen up if you want to see it.
Sure.
Okay, let me bring up the
Seeing
screen.
is believing.
Okay, let's stop sharing that one and let's share this screen. Share screen, Jeff, and that's this one. And share it. Can you see that, Jeff, at all? Is that clear enough?
I see some blue things.
Okay, so all the blue is where people listen to this show. Now watch. This is not. I'm not giving you a Facebook. This is strictly Blog Talk Radio people listening.
Okay, this is Blog Talk Radio. So there are people. Highlights. So tell us some of these countries, Tom.
Okay,
please.
so the red now, that's Russia. 1% of our listenership is in Russia. Putin's listening, Jeff.
Putin is listening. Putin, if you're listening, if you decide to bomb us, please, not New York, not the East Coast.
All right, that's good words. That highlighted section is Mongolia, Jeff. We have people watching listening in Mongolia.
They hunt with eagles and ride horses. I'm not too worried about them.
All right, we have a little island up here that's still Russia. We still got Russia. We're up here. We're in Norway, Jeff. 1% of our listeners are in Norway. They're skiing, they're ice skating, but they're listening.
Nice.
Right here, we got Sweden with another 1%. We're big in the
Alps, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. Let's see. We got France, 1%.
Nice.
More people in France are listening. The UK, we got 1% in the UK.
So is there people that are right now maybe sitting outside underneath the Eiffel Tower saying, "Oh, come on, put on the Hard Rock and Sports Show"?
It's very possible. I can't say that they aren't. There we got 1% in Italy, some of the motherland for us. Germany, 1%. Czech Republic. Ukraine, Poland. We have 1% in Poland.
I might have a fan club there.
That's it. Greece. That's right. They see the Talwinsky name. We're in Greece.
Mm-hmm.
Iran, the Shah of Iran, the
you got to be careful. Maybe you got to be careful with those people there.
I don't know too much about Uzbekistan, but Uzbekistan is listening to us, Jeff.
A couple years ago, that was like part of Russia.
Well, now in India, a very big place, they're listening to us. It's more India. Vietnam, Jeff. You actually have people listening in Vietnam.
Vietnam, wow.
Yes,
good morning, Vietnam.
It's a good point. Yes. Japan, we have some listeners in Japan.
Japan, nice.
Indonesia.
Whoa.
Let's see. Australia, we got people listening in Australia.
Really?
Yep. Kenya, people in Kenya are listening to us right now. We're probably the most influential Hard Rock and Sports station in Kenya.
There may be people now. I want you to think of this, Tom.
Go ahead.
Right now, there's a couple guys sitting in a dirt hut someplace with an AM radio, FM, AM, FM transistor radio, listening to this, watching the zebras run by, worrying if the lions are going to sneak in their house at night and eat them.
And yet they're watching us.
And yet they're listening or watching us. Well, they're probably not watching. They're listening.
That's true. We got somebody in Nigeria is listening to us, Jeff.
Nigeria. Nice.
Nigeria. We go down to South Africa. The South Africans are watching and listening to us. Let's see. We got people in Mexico.
Okay.
Mexico's listening. That's big. How about Argentina, Jeff? We're down in Argentina. Brazil. We got people in Brazil.
Do you think that there are women with their big fluffy fannies at them and scantily clad women listening to us right now, dancing to Brazilian music?
It's an odd thought. I never gave that much thought, Jeff. I'd have to think about that. So these are all the places that the Hard Rock and Sports shows. We got, again, one more time, Russia. We're in Mongolia. We're in wherever Miramar is, we're there. Vietnam, India, Iran, Uzbekistan, Ukraine, Poland, Germany, Italy, Greece, France, Sweden, Norway, We're down South Africa, Kenya. We got listeners in Nigeria. We got people talking to us in Brazil, Argentina, Mexico, and Australia. Jeff, we're like an international conglomerate, Jeff. That's how we are.
We are, but let me ask you something. Does it give you the how much listening they're actually doing, or is this something where they stop for 3 seconds and keep it going?
Again, it could be. Again, this is not Facebook. I can go to Facebook and tell you who's watching us and where they are and how long they watch. All I can tell you is that somebody in these countries is paying attention to the Hard Rock. Now, again, it could be one guy living in his mother's basement yelling, "Meatloaf, Mom, Meatloaf," and he's watching us. It could be one guy. I don't know. It could be one lady. I don't know. But somebody in those countries is tuning into the Hard Rock and Sports Show every Thursday night from 7 to 9:30.
I just hope that it's not a guy pretending to be a lady.
No, listen, to each their own, Jeff. If that's how they live their life, we make no judgments.
We do. I do.
No, you can have your judgment. Me, I say live your life any way you'd like. I'm okay with it.
Live your life any way you want. I'm okay with that.
Just tune into the show.
Just don't watch us.
Just tune into the show every week because we need to.
You don't want to say that because you already know that if anybody's like that and they're doing any bad things right now as we speak,
yep,
they're looking at me as they're doing it.
It's very possible. You are the sexiest man on your side of the screen. I can't argue that. You are definitely the sexiest guy on your side of the screen.
I'm the only guy on my side of the screen.
Oh, that makes you the sexiest guy then. That's
I don't need that some other guy is stinking sexy as he looks at me and he's.
If that's what he chooses to do on his side of the screen,
you ready?
You can't stop him.
It's like.
Is that sound? Is that?
We don't need that. We don't need that at all.
We don't need the Rockets red glare, Jeff. No. Is that what you're saying?
Rockets white glare.
Rockets white glare. I got you. Let's again Hard Rocket Sports. He's Jeff. I'm Tom. We're every Thursday night, 7 to 9:30. We have a little fun, but yeah, I get a little impressed when I can go to the Blog Talk Radio site and actually see that there's somebody in another country, someplace, turning their dial and then go and hey, the Hard Rocket Sports Show's on, and they hang out with us. So thank you all for checking in with us.
It is definitely cool. You know, like especially like the one country, Miramar or whatever. I never even fucking heard of that place.
Now you do. Now it's on the map, Jeff. It's on the Hard Rocket Sports map. So if you ever get a vacation time, you want to fly to Miramar, somebody there will be happy to see you.
What is the point of going to Miramar?
I don't know. I don't know what's in Miramar. I don't know. I do not know, Jeff. I can't tell you where Miramar is or what they do in Miramar. All I can tell you is they're listening. Somebody there is listening.
So it may have a population of like 12.
Right. And half of somebody there is listening to us. Half of one person there. But that's okay. They can all listen, Jeff. It's fine with me. We got lots to talk about tonight. Got plenty of sports to get to. I got some music stuff for Jeff. Let me ask Jeff, who is considered the 6th member of the band Anthrax? Odd question. I don't know if Jeff knows the answer. I don't know why.
I think I got the answer.
You know what? But you want to give me the answer before we pick up our guests?
No. I mean, because then that probably turn into a conversation. So
you can Google it if you like, Jeff. But again, Hard Rocket Sports, guys.
On my phone, I like to have a little something reference point here. That's all.
I got you. Okay, Jeff. So we're gonna bring up our good friends from Pressure. I know Simon's on, and I see Ollie's hanging there. I'm gonna get them on now. I opened the show with their new video. Am I too old? I would say they're certainly not. Sometimes I think I am too old for this, but that's okay. But I hope you guys are checking them out. They're frequent guests of the show because we love their music, and we're gonna get both Simon and Ollie on right now. Simon, welcome aboard.
Hello.
And Ollie, welcome to the Hard Rocket Sports Show. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing today?
Very good. It's
all right. So Ollie, you've been. I know you've been sitting there. You've been watching. What do you think of the Hard Rocket Sports Show so far? You hear the conversation. We're worldwide. We're a little off the top. But what do you think of the Hard Rocket Sports Show so far?
Well, I heard you were mentioning a lot of countries, but you didn't mention Belarus. I'm from Belarus, and I'm watching you.
Well, then you'll show up in the next rating sweep. So next time we'll have at least one person in Belarus talking to us. So I appreciate that. It only helps us in the marketing. But I still got to go to my day job until somebody pays it. Maybe we get 2 people in Belarus. Maybe they'll sign us to a long-term deal here, and we'll do that.
Nice. You get a couple more, right?
Yeah, we need a couple more. So please spread the word there. But in the meantime, I want to find out a little bit. Simon, I'm going to go to you first, and you're going to tell me, how did you bring in Ali to the band? Give us a little something on the new video, and then Ali, I'm going to come to you and ask you, why the hell did you join up with these crazy guys? So go ahead. Talk to me.
The funny thing is that when we searched for a second singer, then we put out an ad on I think it was like Facebook. And the fun thing is when I did that and she replied, and then I sent a really long message and she thought I was a bot. She didn't think that I was a person. So I could go by the name of Robotic Simon. But well, I'm not sure that people would like that, but well, yeah, that was a crazy thing to do, and we had like the longest audition ever. It was like she sent stuff, and we no, we need more.
Yeah.
Ali,
it was like that.
Ali, how was the how was the first of all, what made you think he was a bot? And then once you got to, why did you stick around? Because you can see he's insane. Why did you stay?
Well, I was just scrolling Facebook messages, and I saw the post that some Swedish guys want a female vocalist, and I was like, okay, I just sent something then, and they replied. So he replied with a really, really long message. And I talked to him. I asked him questions, but he never replied my questions. He kept sending me all those long messages again and again. And then when we finally got to talk, I understand that he's a very, very talented musician, and I just wanted to join them. And well, yeah, it was a really long audition, like a month, I think.
Oh, really?
I had to sing in Swedish. I don't know this language. I first heard it when I talked to those guys. And now I sing in Swedish and German. Also in Russian and English, yeah?
Yes, I see that. Well, let me ask you this question. So, and forgive me, I don't know, where is Belarus in comparison to Sweden?
Well, it's like 2 hours by plane.
So have you guys actually gotten together yet to practice, work together? We lost Simon. Okay, there, you lost him again.
We will soon. I hope, because of pandemic, and it's still so hard to do, but we will.
So Simon, you have a singer. So you're looking for a singer. I'm assuming you were hoping for somebody from Sweden, because that would obviously make it a lot easier. But you found Ali, who's got a great voice and complements your voice really well on the single. I love it. It's such an amazing. You guys work great together. But
yeah.
But were you apprehensive at first because she was not necessarily around the corner or a 2-hour drive? She's a 2-hour flight. Were you a little apprehensive?
No. I must first say that I play guitar and no singing, because if I would sing, then you would scream. But okay, we actually wanted this. We wanted the right person, not the right citizen.
Okay.
So it didn't care. We had auditions for all over the place. Actually, we had auditions from Norway, from the US, from Italy, France, and many different places. Actually, we had a lot of auditions. And the main thing here is that we both have very good studios that we can send and record and do things. And when we book tours and things like that, then it will be easier for us to meet up. We already rehearse online and by sending files back and forth to each other. So we are working together. We have been rehearsing in our own special way. You know, Pressure is never doing things as everyone else does. So if anyone else say, okay, we need to have a singer in the town, we say, okay, we have one from the other side of the world.
No, I get it. But, you know, here's what I worry about, Ali. Not that I worry about it because it's none of my business, but I think it's great you guys work so well together. But do you worry about chemistry? I mean, I know it's nice. You're talking on the phone. You're talking online and you're passing messages. But, you know, once you get in the room and you get on stage, a lot of what a band does is through chemistry. Do you worry that when you finally get together live someplace, you know, do you worry?
Can I answer? Before we get together, I checked our horoscope with Fit. So good. I'm just sure we're gonna go so well together.
Okay. Now, before Pressure, what is your choice in music? What is your background? What do you like to listen to? What do you normally like to sing? Outside of Pressure, forget about what you're doing now. Before here, what were you doing, or what's your choice?
Well, before Pressure, I attended a lot of cover bands. It was just, you know, for making money, nothing else than that. But you know, my soul belongs to metal. I am a huge Korn and Slipknot fan, and I've been looking for a band to join in Belarus. It's not so easy to do, but you know, I've been trying, and finally, I found what I was looking for, and I'm really happy about that.
Oh, that's terrific. And now, Simon, I know you guys have a lot of other music and stuff. Do you go back now and kind of change or alter some of the original stuff that you guys were doing to fit Ali in, or do you
everything?
Everything,
actually. Yeah, we have had a recording and do things for all our songs. As we go out, she will have a part in every song. So she really completes our other lead singer, Olaf, very, very well. We have added new harmonies and we have added new parts to each and every song. They are sounding fantastic now. And I am sure that some of them will be re-released and remastered for a later release. It's really nice. And just to connect to your question about the chemistry, what did you actually think that we had like a month audition? We tried and really get to know each other in many different ways. Yeah.
Oh,
I
that's
believe
it.
that with that.
All right, so we're counting on the chemistry to work once everything together. Again, guys, that's Ali Violet, that's Simon. They're in the band Pressure, and you guys know how much we like these guys and the band. And please check out their new video, Am I Too Old? It's a great listen. We opened up this show a couple weeks back. I think I got the chance to play it as well, but there's no chance that I wouldn't take to get these guys on anytime. And now Ali's part of the family too, so we like you guys to go out and support them. We'll get some information from them, social media sites and websites. Simon, let me ask you quick. Now that she's on board, you're remastering the old stuff. Do we get out a quick EP and with some new stuff with Ali in it, getting her influences? Will she have an opportunity to write with you guys and lend her kind of her way into the band?
Yeah, actually, me and Ollie have already started writing new songs.
Okay.
She is an amazing lyric writer, I can tell you that. And we have been writing songs that will be on our new album that will be released late spring 22 next year. So, and that will be a real new sound of Pressure. It's much heavier, much more melodic, and a lot of Ollie on it. I can tell you that.
Well, we're excited for all of it. So I'm glad you guys came on tonight because, again, I'm a huge fan. I'm so happy. Thank you, Sam, if you're listening, for setting all this up and we got this going. So, Ali, you have any websites that you or some social media for you? And then, Simon, I want you to give me the give everybody the Pressure stuff. But do you have some stuff on YouTube, Ali, that you want people to listen to? What's out there from you? Websites, social media sites.
Yeah. Tell them about our Pressure website and everything.
Okay. I mean, nothing personal. I know I'm going to get Simon to give me the Pressure stuff. Do you have any personal stuff you want to put out there?
No, for me, no.
Okay.
I'm all in Pressure.
Okay, so Simon, I know it's late there for you guys. I know it's late there, but Simon, give me some websites or social media places where people can go and find your music now that it has Ali in it, please.
Yeah. You can find us. Our website is pressure.band. And if you search for us on any given social media like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or whatever, YouTube, just put Pressure Sweden in one word and you'll find it.
Awesome. Now, Ali, I'm going to ask you one favor. Now that you're part of the Hard Rocket Sports family, because I consider the guys part of the family, I will require you to go door to door, knocking on people's door on Thursday nights, and make sure they tune into the Hard Rocket Sports Show every Thursday night. And maybe some of the night we'll talk about some of the sports in Belarus, but we're certainly going to talk about Pressure. So you're under the gun. That's it. You have to go door to door. Simon did it. Now you have to do it. How's that?
Great. I'm up to it.
Okay, I don't care what time it. Now, what time is it in Belarus right now?
It's 3 a.m.
Wow, so Jeff, I think at the start of the Hard Rocket Sports Show, which would be 2 a.m. in Belarus, Ali should have to go door to door, knocking on people's door, hitting a horn for the car.
Okay, going now.
Yes, so Jeff, I think that's really fair, Jeff.
Listen, I don't know. Maybe she's got work tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe we should start the show a little earlier so that they could be on at a decent hour for them.
Yes.
It's musician hours here. Me and Ollie, we consider ourselves the night owls of the band because this is our working hour. If we would have had shows now, we would be packing down now or doing the last set now. So it's in the middle of the working hour. So.
Well, I see the other two guys though. I heard they went to sleep. So tell Olaf and Emil. I hope they got good night's sleep tonight.
Yeah, I will tease them about this. Promise me.
Well, listen, I appreciate you guys coming on. I wish you continued success and lots of luck. And of course, both of you and the band are always welcome here on the Hard Rock and Sports Show. We love to listen to you guys. And again, just spread the word about us because we're certainly going to do it for you guys.
Thank you. It's
Good
always
luck.
nice to be here.
Absolutely, Simon. Ali, good meeting you. Good luck and keep in touch.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye.
Okay. All right, guys. Good night.
Bye.
Take care. That's Ali and Emil. I'm sorry, not Emil, Simon from the band Pressure. And thank God they stayed up real late, Jeff, to talk to us.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, I think it's like 2 o'clock in the morning in Sweden, and obviously it's 3 o'clock in Belarus. Wherever Belarus is, I'm still not sure where that is, Jeff.
That's it was part of Russia.
Was it really? Okay, your geography is on the money, I guess. Okay.
Yeah, Russia, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, all of those countries were one time under the USSR.
All right, well, I'm clicking on my map and it doesn't show up yet, so nobody's listening. But I'm expecting next week we'll have at least one person in Belarus listening to the Hard Rock and Sports Show. So we got to make sure we check that. And thanks to everybody out there who's listening. We got plenty of show to get to, and we're glad you guys are sticking around with us for the year. So Jeff, what do you want to get to? You want to do a little music? You want to do a little let's see, Stephen A. Smith? I can give you a little Stephen A. Smith.
Let's hear. First of all, do a little talking for a second. I got to run in the other room.
All right, go ahead. Do your thing again. Hard Rocket Sports. Good. Hard Rocket Sports Show here every Thursday night, 7 to 9:30. We bring you the biggest news around the world from hard rock, heavy metal, and of course the wide world of sports. And then of course, don't forget our Sunday morning sister show, the Sunday Audible, the pregame show before the other pregame shows. You come on back, and we are joined by our good friend John Marhefka, the top dog over at RFL Records. He comes on. We have some special guests this week. We have a real special guest, and I'll tell you who it is when Jeff comes back. But it's the Hard Rock, the Sunday Audible every Sunday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. 2 hours of pregame football. We give you our picks, our bets. We have our good friend Rafael Esparza, the head odds maker, my bookie.ag.com. He pops up every week with us, gives us a little background, a little insight. So make sure you guys check us out every Sunday. I'll do a little college football while Jeff's out. Some big wins this week. Where's my college football page? Hang on a second. There it is. This week's AP Top 25 shows Georgia, Cincinnati, Oklahoma, Alabama. Oklahoma should not be up there. I don't care what anybody says. Oklahoma has been struggling all year. Now I notice new quarterback Caleb Williams had a good day, and they're a better team, but they should not be ahead of Alabama. I don't care if they're 7-0. Ohio State, again, win. If you're going to lose early. Penn State, listen, I think Penn State got robbed. The quarterback gets hurt, but otherwise, not a lot of surprises this week in college football. Somebody said it today. If you want to know what kind of week college football is, go to the 7:30 ABC game, and if you flip that game, and that's the best game of the week because that's usually the highlight game of the week. It's a bad day in college football. This week, it's Ohio State and Indiana. Not a great football game, but I like college football, so I'll tune in to watch. Otherwise, Alabama, Tennessee, not a great game. Iowa State, Oklahoma, no. Oklahoma State. Penn State, Illinois, probably not a great game. Michigan, Northwestern might be a decent game. Cincinnati, Navy, I'm not buying into it. Notre Dame, USC, man, maybe 20 years ago. So, again, not a great college football week, but all college games, you turn in, you find something to watch. It's a good thing. So,
I like to watch college football during the week.
I know you do.
For a lot of different reasons. And I was watching a Yale game.
Okay.
Not Yale, I'm sorry. I should say Ivy League game, not a Yale game.
Okay.
Ivy League game. I think it was Penn versus Columbia, maybe.
Maybe, okay. It's
I
Columbia.
don't remember. But bottom line is they were playing it on a field that made the field at New York High School look like a giant stadium. And I love the smaller college games.
It's fun, yes.
Because it's more like, a game compared to, like the business end that these upper higher echelon colleges are.
Yes.
It was just funny watching, when the offensive lineman is as wide as he is tall.
Yes. Yeah. He's a refrigerator. Yes.
It's hysterical,
Yeah. You definitely see that, they're obviously not cutting it in the other leagues. So it's different. It's like every once in a while you turn on a Saturday, you catch like Wagner playing somebody. You're like, really? This is like the fifth string guy from high school.
Yeah, exactly.
And he had nowhere else to go, and this is where he winds up. But listen, I do like those games. When I was a kid, I would say teenage years, Saturdays on Channel 13, which is PBS. In the New York area, they should have the Ivy League games, and it was always weird because they just looked different. And like Jeff said, you look at the stands, there's 6 people, a hot dog vendor,
somebody's parents like, hi Bobby, hi,
exactly, yeah,
Mom.
You're not getting 106,000 people, it's just it's different.
Yeah,
but no less fun. So, like I said, tonight you got Cleveland and Denver. No Baker Mayfield. He's out. Has to have surgery in the offseason for his off throwing shoulder, torn labrum. But he's out tonight. And Case Keenum says he's ready to play, which I don't see why he wouldn't be. But so it's not a marquee game, but an NFL football game for a Thursday night. Again, I still think the NFL should get rid of the Thursday night games. I think it's a waste of time. All right, let's move on. Lots to get to. I want to get to some Yankee stuff. I got some music. How about Stephen A, and then we'll do a little music and then come back.
All right, do you Stephen A, because I still want to hear this announcement that you have to
We're going to get to the Giants, and I'll make the announcement. We're going to get to the Jets and Giants about 8:30, thereabouts. And then
I'm really curious to what this announcement is.
It's big, Jeff. Big. I'm telling you, it's big. So Stephen A came out, and I don't know if it was today. It was this week, though. And he was, kind or complimenting your boy Lamar Jackson, and he said, "Listen, the guy's playing great football. He's he's dangerous. He's this and that." He said, "But he's got to show me something in the postseason." He said, "All this is nice, but if he's going to have another MVP type season and then get to the playoffs and look terrible and get knocked out in the first round, it's all a waste of time. If he wants to impress me, go out and have a great postseason." And you know what? It was refreshing to hear that from Stephen A. Smith. You know what I mean?
I don't know about that.
Why?
I don't know about that. Why? Because when any player in any sport, especially a sport like football where you have 16 games, consistently gets into the playoffs,
yeah,
they don't have to be the greatest player in the league. I mean, even though he was the MVP one year, just
last year, I think, yeah.
He's playing at a high level, and his team is successful overall. Should he be doing better? Yeah, but there's a lot of different guys, a lot of different players whose career was never defined by the offseason. I mean, the postseason, I should say, not offseason. And I mean, I understand what he's saying, but you know what? Look at New York football.
Mm-hmm.
When was the last time a New York quarterback went to the playoffs twice in his career?
No, I'm not. Listen, I'm not. Yeah, you're not wrong, but I agree with him. You can't keep giving him these accolades and say he's a top 5 quarterback. He's top this. And then get to the postseason. It's one thing to go into the postseason, Jeff, and win a game or go out there and throw for 350 yards and lose. It's another. His 3 postseason appearances are complete. I like to look up the numbers. They're completely lackluster.
Yeah, listen, I'm sure they are passing.
Yeah,
but the first time the guy got into the playoffs, when he threw the football, like a wiffle ball.
Yes, he was horrendous
on a windy day at that.
Yeah, he was throwing a wiffle ball in a wind tunnel. I agree.
Yeah, so I mean, what were you expecting? Bullets? He wasn't throwing them. Evidently, he has gotten a little bit better. I'm not saying he's great. Don't get me wrong, but he has gotten a little bit better. He just had a lot of success. The last game, he had some incredible numbers.
Yeah.
I understand it's one game, but nonetheless, he had good numbers for that one game.
Yep.
Doesn't mean that he's going to light the league on fire.
Oh, I agree.
But, he's a step in the right direction for him.
All right, listen, I'm not going to discount it. So, yeah, listen, it's not to belabor it. I think I put him almost in the Russell Wilson category. The first few years of Russell Wilson, everybody crowed Russell Wilson's the great. He's this, and he gets to the playoffs, and not only did his team not play well, he played horrendously. So I think at some point to turn yourself, Jeff, to that great category, to get to that next level as a quarterback, you have to at least show yourself to be a capable quarterback in a big spot.
I could go with that.
You know what I mean? You ain't got to win Super Bowls. Listen, Dan Marino, I consider him one of my favorite quarterback to watch, and probably a top 10 quarterback all time. Never won a Super Bowl.
No, it didn't do much in the
exactly.
Season, from
so
what
again,
I remember.
I don't think it kills your legacy if you don't, but I think at least Dan Marino went out there and had some success in the postseason on multiple occasions. I am not yet to see that from Lamar Jackson, but he's early. It's only his 4th, 5th year in the league. He's got time.
If it doesn't happen, Tom, it raises more questions no matter how far he goes.
True.
How many years he plays and how many years he gets out in the first, second round of the playoffs.
True. Very true.
You know what I mean? Like Joe Flacco, who was, won the Super Bowl one year and was in the AFC Championship a couple times from what I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Probably always have questions against him because he only won one Super Bowl and he only got there once. So there'll probably always be some questions pertaining to him and his status.
Yeah, I think, listen, you could be Drew Brees and only have one Super Bowl appearance, one win, but your regular seasons are astronomical, and then you add the Super Bowl win, it changes the theory about it. When you're Joe Flacco and most of the time you're an average or below average quarterback and you win one Super Bowl, it helps, don't get me wrong, but I'm not putting Joe Flacco in my top 50 quarterbacks of all time, probably.
No, nor should you. There's a lot of quarterbacks. There's a couple that have even won more than one Super Bowl and then have had average at best, average stats at best, average record.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, for the rest of us, those 2 Super Bowl wins are going to carry way more weight than they really deserve to. It's fucking disgusting. That's all I can say.
Yeah. You keep. Hey, Mick, how are you, buddy? Nice to see you. Good luck. I hear you're going to be over at Dingbats in Clifton, New Jersey, on November 4th. So make sure you guys all go check out Mick Michaels and Corners of Sanctuary. Great band. Good old-fashioned heavy metal band. Going to be in the New Jersey area over at Dingbats on November 4th. So make sure you guys go out and represent. It's a Thursday night, so I'm hoping maybe we could change schedules around here. Maybe we'll be able to show up for the show, but either way, we're going to promote it and support it. And good luck, Mick, and to you guys for that night. So, Jeff, let's go do a little bit. A couple things for me. I'm going to do a couple right now. We'll come back later on. One, you're going to yell at me for this one, but I got to ask. I know that Wolfgang Van Halen is an amazing musician. He really is. A great bass player, good guitar player, sings, probably writes good music. I'm all for it. But I got to tell you, he's disturbing to look at. He comes from
Wolfgang Van Halen.
He comes from 2 good-looking parents. Where did he come from? Is he adopted? Did you sneak in there? What the hell happened?
Usually just because he has good-looking parents doesn't really mean anything.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
I don't disagree.
And
but
you gotta be honest there. And yeah, Eddie Van Halen was a good-looking guy, and Valerie Bertinelli is a very pretty woman, and then there's Wolfgang.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, maybe the problem was the name.
I'm not disagreeing. I don't know. No, I know Eddie was a little off center. There's always the stories that I've heard from and read from different musicians about Eddie and how crazy and insane he was. But you'd have to think that Valerie was a semi-normal human being, and she agreed to this.
She might have agreed to it, dude. But I mean, maybe she was indulging too, or something. I don't know. Van Halen was making more money than her at one point in time.
Oh, I'm sure.
Something had to say, hey, I got this idea. I want to name the kid Wolfgang. And she turned around and said, oh, okay, whatever you want to do. That's just leave me alone, whatever it is, whatever. Who knows?
Don't touch me.
Don't touch me. Don't talk to me ever again.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Something was agreed upon that night.
I
can't see her coming in. And the only reason I say this is because I remember when I was trying to name my daughter when she was born.
Right.
And I wasn't picking out of like some fucked up, whacked out names.
Yeah.
But the names that I picked out were just like, no, too long, too short, too this, too that, too that, too this. And I just never stood a chance.
Right.
You know what I mean? So to get Wolfgang slipped in there, you have to assume that it was Eddie.
Oh, yeah.
And you have to assume that he paid a king's ransom for that, right, too.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, but yeah, it's definitely, you're right. You start out in life with that name, you kind of, it's almost downhill from there.
I would say.
You know what I'm saying? It's almost downhill from there at that point. I'm checking a quick phone number here, Jeff. Somebody's popped up on our screen, and I'm not sure if I know who it is, and I'm going to have to check to see if we want this person. I'm going to send you a little message. Check your message right now.
I think I know who it is. All
right, well.
Uh-oh. Shall I open the message?
Yes, open the message, please.
We got a lot to get to, so I don't care. If you got to reel them in.
Well, I have that. We do have the button, Jeff. So there is always, if he's off on a tangent, I'm almost curious how Little Nasty.
I'm definitely curious too. Halfman, I hope you hear us talking about you.
He does.
Okay.
I'm curious to see how we never talked about the whole Nassib thing. Obviously, we never talked about the Gruden stuff, the failures of his team. There's a lot of stuff to talk to him about.
All right, listen. If he can hear us,
okay,
we'll find out right now. Okay. Right now, you've been leaving us in alert. You don't call up that much. We're not calling you the half man. We're not calling you Dom. We're not calling it the Raider Report. You have to go by tonight, and until further notice, you have to go by the name of Nassib. If you don't agree to that, hang up now.
He's still there, Jeff.
We'll give him 5 seconds. You ready?
We're going to call him
4, 3, 2, 1.
He's still there.
So he agrees to the handle Nassib.
Yep, he's Nassib. All right.
All right, so then bring him on. Introduce him as Nassib, though.
All right, so folks, this is a long time part of the show. Used to handle certain aspects like the Raider Report and halftime with the half man. His role has now been reduced, and his name is now Nassib, and he's obviously.
Wait, hold on, please. Nassib, as in named after the openly homosexual player on the Las Vegas Raiders, Paul Nassib.
Okay. Oh, let's bring him on, little Nassib. And spinning, and it's spinning, and here he is. Dom?
Yes, sir.
Dom, welcome aboard there, sir.
Oh, no.
Sorry, Nassib. I apologize.
What's up, Nassib?
This is the 1-4 Jets and the 1-5 Giants fucking fans talking about my 4-2 Raiders.
And wait, Tom, hold on.
Please, Jeff, go.
Yes, you're 4-2 Raiders, and they're openly homosexual defensive end who you are now mimicking for the night, Paul Nassib. Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about your team. Good start. Little rough there. A 3-0 start, down a 1-2 last few games. Got off the deck this week. I can't, just a disappointing loss to the Bears. But okay, so the Gruden stuff. The floor is yours. Tell us about your team.
Okay, 3-0 start. The 3 teams they beat. It's the first time in NFL history a team beat 3 teams in 3 consecutive weeks that won 10 games the year before.
Okay.
Denver was 3-0. Who did Denver beat the first 3 weeks? They beat the shitty Jeff Fat Man Jets, the shitty Jaguars, and Tommy, other fat boy, Florio Giants.
Okay.
Can I ask a question?
You can. It's your show.
Well, I'm asking Dom. I have a question for Dom. Dom, I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
What is it talking like this? What's happening here? What's going on?
You do sound like you have a lisp, Dom. Is there you have a tooth pulled? Is your lip swollen? Because you do have a little bit of a lisp tonight.
You have a cock in your mouth?
Yeah, you actually, I have to agree with Jeff on this. You're lisping if that's a verb. I'm not sure if lisping is a verb, Jeff. But
it is.
It is now.
I don't know what a lisp is. The voice. I have no idea what you're saying.
All right, let's get so now your coach. I think, and I'm going to personally say, I think your coach was. I think he was overrated. I think he was blowhard, but I think he was wrong. I think what they did to him was not right. I think obviously the NFL's got a thing out for the guy. And I maybe could have got suspended.
They had to get rid of Gruden. That was just that everything that happened and what transpired. It also was with everything with Washington and whatnot.
Sure. And
there's more of a downfall, Tom, that's going to come with that. More shit with Dan Snyder and.
I don't think so. 660,000 emails. That's 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and nothing else since. So I got to tell you, I think. Somebody was out for Gruden, and I'll tell you what, it may have been the team owner, Mark Davis, so he gets out of that ridiculous contract they gave him. Now they ain't got to pay him because he quit. He didn't get fired. He got quit. So he don't have to get paid anymore.
He got quit?
He got quit. So I was in the middle of that.
The whole level of the show goes down a few notches when he comes on.
Yeah, Jeff.
What's that there, half-man? Nassib?
That's more of a list. He got quit.
Okay.
So good, Dom. So are we all to buy into your fake team that all of a sudden now they lose to the Bears with one of the worst quarterbacks of the bunch, and they lose badly at home, and we're to buy that this spectacular team?
All right, they're 4-2.
Oh, but Pirates.
They're home against Philadelphia this week. That makes them 5-2. They got the bye. Then they go to the Giants. That puts them 6-2. That puts them right in the driver's seat.
What is with his voice tonight?
Here we go. Hello, stupid.
The autumn wind is a butt pirate, blustering in from sea. With a rolling song, he gets swept along, swaggering needlessly. His face is shit-stained. He wears his sister's scarf. The condom is a hat about his head and a cheesy fake black mustache. He cries as he loses about the country, a loser big and bold. And the trees all laugh and laugh as he misses out on the gold. He keeps on losing. Dom Ginter is a butt pirate, losing just for fun.
Sorry, that slipped in somehow.
Oh,
Sorry.
man.
Go ahead, Tom. Continue on your how we're supposed to believe in your team. Again, it was a good start. I'm not disagreeing, but then you shit the bed at home against a very bad Chicago Bear team.
That was one bad loss, yes.
Okay.
Listen, every team has a bad loss during the season, yes or no?
Of course. So okay. So go ahead. I'm giving you the open forum, Dom. It's all yours. I'm giving you the opportunity to I'm not disagreeing. To me, your team's a surprise team this year.
The Raiders are the top seed in the AFC. They're 5-1.
Oh, wait. Whoa. Time out. Did you just say the Raiders are the top seed in the AFC?
Ravens.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought you said Raiders. Okay, go ahead. Yes, they're 5-1.
They're 5-1.
Yep.
40-day loser. They lost to the Raiders.
Okay. I will not put your team at the top of the league. I'll say that you're in the playoff hunt and playing much better than I expected them to play. I still don't think they're the best team in that division.
Top 5 in AFC.
Oh boy, Jeff, that's tough. Let me think. Hold on.
5 in the AFC.
Let's see. So they're not better than Buffalo. They're not better than Baltimore.
No.
Let's see. Not better than the Chargers. That's 3.
No. That's 3 right off the bat.
Yeah.
I would say the Titans are better than them.
That's a questionable one. New England, I know they're 2-4, so I can't put New England in there. Cincinnati's a tough team. You know what, Dom? I'll give you this. I will tell you that they could wind up top 5. Yes. I right now when I put them there, it's going to be close. I won't argue that based on their record. The next couple of weeks are going to tell a lot for this team. I mean, they get home this week to the Eagles, a game they should win. You know, you go out this week and you shit the bed, you're going to drop out of my top 5 if I'm still going to put you there. Now, just because their record is as good as it is, I like Cincinnati better than I like them. I think Cincinnati's got I like Cincinnati a little bit better. I'm down on Cleveland. That game just started. I like
Pittsburgh is maybe on the upswing too.
Yeah, and I like this New England team. I think this New England team is a little underrated. I know they lost a couple of games they shouldn't have, but I like this New England team, and they impressed me Sunday.
New England's 2-4.
I didn't say they're better. I just said I'm impressed with this New England team. I watched them all the whole game on Sunday, and I thought offensively and defensively this team played really well, and they have a lot of parts. And I think when this quarterback settles in, I think this is going to be a good team. Are they a playoff team? Are they going to win a game in the playoffs? I don't know. I'm not putting them ahead of your team yet. I'm just saying there are other teams that I think at the end of the year might wind up a little better. But yeah, your team's probably top 5, top 6 right now in the AFC. Sure, I wouldn't argue that.
I just put them in the top 5 in the AFC.
Yeah.
I didn't say they were number 1 or none, but they're top 5 AFC.
Again, I'm not going to argue. It's hard to argue with a team that's 4-2. So if Jeff, if you just put the teams up there by record, of course.
Yeah, I hear by record, but there's a lot more than that going on. You're going to tell me that the Raiders are better than the Chiefs right now? I mean, come on.
Okay, Dom, you got to answer that.
Who was that guy on Fantasy Island, the little guy? What was his name again?
Tattoo?
Oh, what did he say all the time?
Let me try to think about that for a second. It take me a second to think of that one.
The plane.
My dear Tattoo.
All right, you want to put the Chiefs in front of him, Jeff, not a problem. But that's one team. Buffalo is 2. San Diego is 3. Baltimore is 4.
Yeah, but
wait.
You could put in front of them.
I disagree with that. Hold on. So wait, you're saying I would tell you that I would take Tennessee over them right now only because Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry to me is the equalizer in a lot of teams. I think they had no chance of beating Buffalo. They beat the best team in the AFC, in my opinion. So I'm putting Tennessee up there. You don't have that weapon on your team. I'm not telling you that your team's not in the top 5 or 6. I told you that. But I'm telling you right now, Buffalo, Tennessee, Baltimore, Chargers, for sure. I'm teetering on Cincinnati. And then I put your team right there in that group at this moment.
I don't put Cincinnati ahead of the Raiders.
I'm just saying it's close. I like Burrow better. I think their future is bright. Right now, you may be the better team. I'm not sure.
I know what you're saying about in the grouping. I understand what you're saying in the grouping. Yeah. I understand what he's saying, but not for nothing. Dom always thinks that the Raiders are the best team, no matter what's going on.
Yeah.
I just don't see it.
I didn't say they were the best team. I'm realistic. All I said was they're top 5 in AFC.
Yeah, I don't know about that, man. I'd say maybe in the top 7.
Derek Carr right now has the second most passing yards in the league, and he's second in passer completion ratio and quarterback rating.
But that means nothing because Jameis Winston threw for 5,000 yards 2 years ago and had 30 touchdown passes, but he also threw for 30 interceptions. And then what happened? He got traded or he got cut. He didn't even make the team that he did it on the following year.
It's broke. Carr has 14 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. That's it.
You know, Dom, I'm going to tell you, though, I'm going to say this, and I don't know how Jeff feels. I really don't. I haven't been able to put Derek Carr's career in perspective. And what I mean by that is, if you ask me where Derek Carr falls in his era, I don't know. I don't think he's a
not a top 5 quarterback, Derek Carr.
I'm not sure he's a top 10 quarterback, but I know he's had some decent numbers. But here's the problem, Dom. When you start throwing numbers out there, everybody's numbers in this era are inflated. So I'll look at the numbers. I think it's important to look at the numbers. But to me, it's about playoffs, playoff wins, obviously Super Bowls, and winning big games. And that's the one thing. I can't think of too many really big games. Now, Dom, you're a Raider fan, so maybe you could pop a few out. But give me a couple of big football games that Derek Carr has won and played really well in. I'm talking about a game to win the playoff game, a big game to make the playoffs. You know, a season on the line and you beat a good team. You know, give me that game where Derek Carr's had it. And I don't, at the top of my head, I'm not putting it there. So that's my
0 playoff wins.
Right. So to me, I get your point. But Jeff brought up a great point. Jameis Winston last year threw for 5,000 yards and 30, not last year, the year before, I think it was.
Yeah, year before.
5,000 yards and 30 touchdowns. Do I want to think that Jameis Winston's a great quarterback? No. So I think stats are valuable and they're useful, But I think in the end of the day, it's a little overrated in this era where guys are throwing the ball 50 and 60 times a game sometimes, or let's say 40.
No, you're right. Because when they throw the ball 50, 60 times a game, because they're losing constantly, they overinflate their stats.
100%.
And nothing, for more often than not, Carr was on the losing end a lot of times.
Yeah.
He had no choice but to throw the ball.
Yeah, but Tom, Jeff, one question. You mentioned, Tom, you mentioned Super Bowl wins.
Yep.
Drew Brees, 1 Super Bowl win. Aaron Rodgers, 1 Super Bowl
But
win.
Dom, it's not all Super Bowl. Wait, you're taking.
What's up, Joe Flynn?
Hey, Joe Flynn. But Joe, hold on, Dom, hold on. It's not about Super Bowl wins. What I'm saying to you is, I'm not telling you Super Bowl wins. Give me the big game that Derek Carr, not only his team won, but he played really well. That's the problem. I'm not talking about Super Bowl wins. I'm not talking about, NFC, AFC championship games. Just give me the big games that he went out, played really well in. I'm not disagreeing with you that he puts up good stats, but you know what? The truth is, a lot of guys are putting up good stats. Stafford.
He hasn't had that big game win.
Well, then Dom, he's 7. Okay, he's 7 or 8 years in the league. Let me ask you a simple question. In this era, let's say from in the last 7 years to now, that's his era. Think of the quarterbacks in his era, Breeze, Rodgers, Brady, Wilson, where Roethlisberger, where do you rank Derek Carr? Is he in your top 10? Is he in your top 15? Where do you put Derek Carr? Because he's not in mine.
No.
No, he's not up there at all. I agree with that.
Okay, so I'm not I'm not knocking the guy. All I'm saying is, when we look back at this era of football, let's say from 2010, maybe a little before that to now, and maybe going forward, when we look back at this era, using stats to me is overrated because everybody's throwing up. If you're a starting quarterback in this league, you're putting up big numbers because you're throwing the ball 35 and 40 times a game. And like Jeff said, these games are getting out of hand, and guys are, 2 or 3 drives. I mean, I'll give you a quick, for instance, Sam Darnold had a shitty game. He had one drive, 98 yards, and he got up over 200 yards because he had one really good drive at the end of the game. That was a big drive. They scored, 2-point conversion.
After that, he had 64 yards.
Correct. So, Dom, I get your point. I'm not knocking Derek Carr. I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback. All I'm saying is, when I'm time for me to sit back and say, is this guy a great quarterback? The answer is no, because forget about the stats. He's got no big wins. Forget about, his
career is too up and down.
Yeah, and it's a Tony Romo effect. Great regular seasons, but never could win a big game. And that's why I always thought Tony Romo was overrated.
Same thing with Matthew Stafford.
I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. Until he does something now, and if he does, I don't care what kind of team he's got. If he goes out there and wins a big playoff game, then I'll give him credit.
Look at Aaron Rodgers. Okay, Aaron Rodgers has 1 Super Bowl win. He's been to the Super Bowl once. Okay, but every year Green Bay is a Super Bowl favorite, a contender. They're almost to the NFC Championship game almost every year that they play. And then you look and say, like Eli. Yes, he has 2 wins in the Super Bowl, but that's all he did was get to the Super Bowl twice. Derek Carr, he barely made the playoffs, this fucking guy.
Yeah, I agree.
So he's having a decent year this year. You know what that means to me? Next year they crash and burn. And you're talking about 5-12 next year, if you're lucky.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. I think Jeff's got a great point. But Dom, I'll say this: your team's playing well. They're in a tough division, and they're right. They're hanging right in there. I still think the Chargers are a better team in that division. I think the Broncos are overrated. I said it when they won their 3 games. I'll agree with you. So I think you're in a good spot to make a playoff game. I really do. Dom?
They're playing very well. They're 4-2. They got 2 winnable games in the next 2 games. That will put them 6-2.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go against the Chiefs.
Stop. Wait. You
You
cannot give this team automatic wins. They're not good enough, Dom. You told me that leading up to the game against the Bears, you thought that was a chance they could lose that game. Nobody. I bet that game saying they're going to win this game easy, and they lose 20-9. So there is no such thing as counting on wins at this point for that team. I don't think you do for anybody in the league right now, other than maybe the Rams and the Bucks. Other than that, there's so much parity. But yeah, I'm as it goes, I'll agree with you. There's chances for them to win. I think there's a really good chance they can make the playoffs this year. He needs to go out and have a good playoff run. If they go out, they get a wild card, and they get to the playoffs, and they get knocked out, Jeff, Derek Carr stays in the scrap heap.
Well, listen, he's got to get off the scrap heap before he could be considered anything. And in my eyes, he's still on the scrap heap because what has he done?
No,
seriously, what has he done? All he's done is given us stuff to laugh at. The way it's broke. Can you hit that one more time? I love that one.
Let me find that again. Hold on. I have to go search. These things are not at my fingertips. I am not in the.
You should keep them ready at this point.
I try, but it's hard to do that.
It's broke. It's broke.
Or classic.
I freaking knew you were going there. It's broke. It's broke.
You don't have the whole clip.
No, I don't. For some reason, I looked it up. It's not in my system anymore.
Fuck. Man.
Wait. Hold on. I do.
Blue waiting. What's up? It's broke. It's broke. It's broke. It's broke. It's broke. It's broke.
Wow. 6 times he said it. It's 6 times.
Dom, I think it was broke.
You guys suck ass.
Well, listen. Again, Dom, I love the fact that you're a true fan and all that, and I think it's great. All I'm saying is, it's hard for me to take your team seriously because they've done nothing the last decade for the most part, and their quarterback. Well, I'm not. Without first off, we're not talking about my team at the moment. But if you want to talk about my team, at least I can look back and see a couple of Super Bowls that aren't made of wood. You gotta go back to the 80s for a Super Bowl.
There we go.
So don't put at least my team has got some in the rearview mirror we could see. Yours, we got to go back.
How about sharing that announcement with us that we got the half man on, huh?
You want? I can give you the announcement. You want the announcement?
Please.
Folks,
I'm waiting for this.
All right. So this is what I've decided for my New York Football Giants. Everybody knows I'm a huge Giant fan, and I will always be a huge Giant fan. I will always be a huge Giant fan. I don't care if they're 1-16. I don't care if they're 16-1. I'm a Giant fan. My big announcement is this. I will continue to watch every Giant game and root for them, and I'll watch every play of every game regardless of the outcome of the game. I will no longer make any predictions for the New York Giants making the playoffs, but I will still root for them each week, and that's my announcement.
What?
That's the announcement.
First of all, wait a minute.
Go ahead.
Predictions for the playoffs. They're not making the fucking playoffs.
I just said I'm not making any more predictions.
Not making the playoffs.
Okay.
What other predictions can you? Right now, this team is battling hard for the first pick in the draft.
I'm not disagreeing. I will make no predictions.
Yeah.
That's my announcement.
I
will still watch every game.
Wait. What about the Jet announcement, Jeff?
My dear
Dom, you can't see he's wearing his official Jet Christmas hat. He's wearing his official Jet Christmas hat. So listen.
I too have an announcement.
You do?
Yes.
God.
I do. I am. First of all, this is an official announcement. All right.
Official. Okay.
An official announcement. I am the only one that comes on this show week after week after week and will admit that his team sucks.
Yeah, but then you have no choice.
I did not.
You have no other choice but to admit that.
I did not interrupt you.
But you have no choice.
I did not interrupt you.
All right, yeah. I'll let you say what you got to say.
I never once ever said they would get into fake playoffs. I never said that they would win their fake division. I never said that they're going to go here and beat this one and beat that one and beat this one and beat that one like Dominic does and anoint them 17-0 in the second week of the season. Never once. I always told you, and you can go back and listen to old shows, that this team sucks. And I will let you know when this team is ready to win. Okay? But it ain't anytime soon. So that be, yes, I know. Okay?
Just checking.
This is an awful team.
You're retired by then, right?
Yeah, again, listen, I will say that I am a huge fan, and I'm going to stick with it. But, Jeff, you can't come on here with any predictions for your team other than they're going to stick.
You can't come on here either.
I can't.
Your team. Now, let me explain to you what's going to happen to your team.
Go ahead. What's going to happen to my team?
Because I've been chomping at the bit on this one.
You chomping at the bit?
Oh, yeah. Listen to this. Watch this. See this motion? That's the turd going down the fucking ball, okay? This is what's going to happen. Gettleman's going to get fucking fired.
I would agree with that at this point.
Okay?
Yes, I would agree.
Because Gettleman's getting fired, the dominoes are going to fall.
No domino.
First domino to fall is going to be Joe Judge, because no general manager is going to take that position and leave the coach that didn't do nothing for 2 years. He's 7-15 in 2 years. Bang, gone. Okay. Next on the endangered species list, Daniel Jones, because the new general manager who's going to pick a new coach has no fucking ties to Daniel Jones. So guess what? Mr. Jones, you're out. Okay. So he's gone. Next, Saquon Barkley. This motherfucker must have been made of glass when they made him. He gets hurt standing still. I'm giving him right now, if I had it, I have an award someplace. I don't know where it is. I'm going to get his name on it. He's got the fucking Jerry Brusco of the Year award, period. Okay? The guy gets hurt standing still, blowing bubbles. Gone. They're going to trade him. Okay? I'm telling you, next year at this time, those three men out of the fucking franchise. Goodbye. Gone. Okay? Gone.
Let me know when you're done.
Jones, 4 turnovers last game. 4 turnovers. Resorting back, he had a few good games. The guy threw 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. The fuck out of here, please.
Let me know when you're done.
There's no reason. I am. I'm done. I fucking need Green.
For what?
Stirred the pot, and I got off the Raiders. I love it.
But listen, let's be honest. You come on and attack the Giants all you want, and you know what? I can't even argue it at this point. I'm very disappointed in the season. I am with you 100%. I will not. I agree with you that Gettleman's going to get fired, and rightfully so. You can't blame him for injuries, but you still pick this team, and they're not out there playing. So I'm with you on that. Okay, Jones is going nowhere. Judge is going nowhere. This team is still a good team. It's got a bright future.
Now, you're the fucking general manager.
Yep.
Let's say you're the new general manager. Okay.
I should be, as a matter of fact.
Okay, you should be. You can't do any worse than what they got. But okay, you're the new general manager, and you're going to walk in. You're going to be like, "Well, what about a coach now?" And the owner says, "Well, we're going to keep him." Yeah, we're going to keep him. And you're going to be like, "Yeah, we're going to keep him."
Yeah.
Really? What about the quarterback? Oh, we're going to keep him too. Yeah, we're going to keep him?
Sure.
And like, yeah, this guy's going to fucking do a fucking Belichick. I resign as HCNYG.
I'll tell you right now. I bet you if let's say, I'm going to tell you this, Bill Belichick, next team president of the New York Football Giants. There's the prediction. Bill Belichick, Giants.
Wait, you just said you wouldn't make any Giant predictions.
I said no.
Yeah, there you go.
Predictions.
There you go, Nazir.
Player predictions. I did not say I would not make any. I predict Bill Belichick next year.
He said no more Giant predictions.
Next year, Bill Belichick, Giant team president. Bam! I just said it. That's it. I just said it. Bam. Write it down.
Here. You want a prediction? I'll give you a prediction.
Give me a prediction.
All right, here's the prediction. Bill Belichick has a heart attack.
Yeah.
Has a heart attack and dies at next year at their New England Patriots opening season press conference. And the reason he has the heart attack is because somebody burst into the room with naked pictures of him and Robert Kraft 69ing on Kraft's fucking yacht out in the fucking middle of the Atlantic. And they're both, and then they'll be like, "What's this, Billy? What's this?" While Tom Brady's dancing in the background.
See that?
He has a heart attack and dies.
You're just hating because they have kept you. They, along with everybody else in the league, they've kept the Jets down to what they really are. Nothing.
But I don't give a fuck about the Jets. I don't care about the Jets. At this point in time, I am a football fan. I don't need a team to root for.
Did you just say I bleed green? Did that just come out of your mouth? Yes. You said while wearing the hat. Yeah. I bleed green. I bleed green.
I do. And you want to know something? I have fucking stopped the bleeding.
You stopped the bleeding?
Yes, I have. I stopped bleeding.
Oh my God. Yeah, Don, please.
Wait, Jeff, hold on. Tom, let me ask you a question.
Yep.
Are you, as a Giant fan, willing to admit Barkley's a bust?
It's hard. I'll give you the straight answer. I said it before the season. I would have a hard time giving him another contract right now. I won't say he's a bust. You get injuries, this and that. I don't know if I call it a bust. I will just say he has not lived up to the potential so far. And at this moment, I would not go out of my way to give him a 5-year, $75 million contract or a 5-year, $125 million.
He wants $90 million, the same contract Ezekiel Elliott got. What is it? 6 years, $90 million?
I would not give it to him. Now, listen, I love his ability. I love the talent. And I'll be the first to say, listen, if it was hamstring, no, here's the thing. If you're telling me a guy's get a hamstring injury every year, I'm with you. You tell me he pulls a quad muscle every year, I get it. You step on another guy's foot and twist your ankle. I don't put that as soft. That I can't buy that. You blow out your knee, I'm not buying it that he's soft. But I don't like the fact that he's played 3 years. This is his 4th year, and 3 of those years, he's missed significant time or played down to a level because of injury. So, again, I said it last year. The kid that had a running back last year had a great year, and he proved that by a decent offensive line with some holes to run, you don't have to have a superstar back there running the football. Do I like Barkley? I love Barkley. I think he's got amazing ability. I think he's one of those guys who could change a game. He just can't stay on the field. So, I said it before the season. I'm not going to change what I said now. I would not at this moment, unless he comes roaring back this year and has a tremendous year, I would not give him a big contract. And even if he does, I would not give him.
The same thing with Odell Beckham. He couldn't stay on the field.
Well, but again, Odell's short.
Odell Beckham didn't really start getting hurt till he went to Cleveland.
Yeah, but his numbers have gone down every single year. He was on my list to talk about tonight. His numbers have gone down ever since that one breakout year.
If you're the Giants, you seriously have to seriously consider if you could trade Barkley this year and get something for him.
I would not argue that point. I honestly, truly, I would. If you could get a number 2 or number 3, or if somebody was crazy enough to give you number 1, I would take it in a heartbeat right now.
They have 2 number 1s this year. Who's number 1 do they have?
The Giants?
Yeah.
They do have somebody else's number 1. I'm not sure top of my head. I have to go look it up. But
they have somebody else's number 1.
Yeah.
Just like the Jets. Not for nothing. A lot of people haven't been saying anything, okay? And nobody said anything. But the Jets have Seattle's number 1, who were 2-4. The Jets may have 2 top 10 picks.
Mm-hmm.
Seattle's not playing good right now.
Okay.
So, I mean, you may have 2 New York football teams with
the Giants have 2 number 1 picks right now. If the season ended today, they'd have the number 5 pick, and they'd have Chicago's number 1 pick at number 16. All
right, so there's a chance that the Giants could be picking twice within the top 15 to 20.
That's correct. Yes.
But I hope Chicago goes on a tear and fucking wins every game for the rest of their career.
I don't think we have to worry about that.
I do. I hope Justin Fields is the MVP.
I don't think we have to worry about that, but that's okay. Anyway,
listen, I'm hoping.
Yeah, I know you're hoping.
And I hope Seattle. It's a race between the Seattle and the Jets, and I hope they're 1-2. That's what I hope. I hope the Giants win 2 more games.
Listen, I hope they win every game. I could care less about draft picks and draft order. I am just going to watch every football game and just root for the game and not worry about any more about playoffs and seeds and draft picks. I'm just going to enjoy football. I was screaming at the TV 2 weeks ago, And this week I was fed up. So listen, I there's some good parts to this team, and there's some bad parts. And until somebody comes in and fixes it, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I will do the best I can to root as a fan. But one good thing is I am not a Raider fan and I am not a Jet fan because my team has won in the recent memory. I think the last time the Raiders won, Bronco Nagurski was at running back.
Please, the last time that the Giants won the fucking Super Bowl.
You're going to get it right.
The last time the Giants won the Super Bowl, Godzilla was still stepping on cardboard buildings. You gotta be fucking kidding me.
So what does that mean? The parade was led by Noah and his ark?
I don't really give a fuck, man. Does not matter. Does not matter.
It does matter.
It don't.
It doesn't. You can't come on in and rip Dominic's Raiders, rightfully so. My Giants, maybe rightfully so.
First of all.
And then just go, oh, I don't care with the Jets. You're a Jet fan. You just said,
First of all,
I bleed
Nazib's Raiders.
Okay. Nazib's Raiders, my Giants, and then go, I bleed green. I don't care about the Jets. That shows
I don't care about the Jets. The Jets are my preferred team to watch win, but they're not winning. So now I just have to go with watching football and being happy that it's on.
I guess that's
I do not root for any one team. I watch it game by game, and then I hope that a certain team wins a certain game. That's all I do. That's all I do. I am a nomad. You know who I am?
Who are you, John?
I am the grasshopper, man.
Oh, no, you are what they call.
Oh, I am grasshopper. I am grasshopper. Just like in the show Kung Fu, where he went around grasshopper. You have to do this, grasshopper. You have to do that.
If the Jets ever went on a run this year, you'd be the first guy showing up. The Jets are the best. Saint Zach, Rob Saleh. Yeah, you'd be the first guy. You and Nassib. That would be your thing.
No. Listen to me. Listen to what I'm telling you. Just like how fucking David Carradine had to go through the desert and walk as a kid, and they called him Grasshopper in the show Kung Fu. Well, I am young Grasshopper. I'm learning the lessons right now. And when I learn the lessons and I come back and this team is fucking goes on a tear and wins like every Super Bowl trophy for the next 17 years, and it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Yeah, listen to this.
Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you rise. Now taking the field for the very first time, your very own Las Vegas Pirates!
Oh, Butt Pirates!
Is he even there?
All you could do is make fun of me as you're ripping. You should be ripping
Pirates
Jeff and his 17 years straight Super Bowl wins.
Yeah. Listen, you just think how bad this is. Think about this. If you stay in the current streak, Jeff, you guys win one every 50-something years, it would take you almost 250 years to catch up to the Giants. It's scary.
So what?
It's embarrassing.
The NFL's going to be around
you guys are like the D League of the NFL.
Oh, stop.
You're like the D League.
It doesn't matter at this point in time, Tom. It does not matter.
You're like the fat kid at the end when everybody's choosing sides.
Okay.
We need a 30-second team. Let's let the Jets play.
Listen, that's fucking great, but they suck. Can I tell you?
We need a 30-second team. Oh, yeah, let the Jets play. That's what you guys are turned into.
Please stop.
Disgraceful.
Please.
You've ruined more careers. You've ruined more careers than any other team in the NFL. Think about it. Every quarterback that runs up there, destroyed.
You know what this is?
I have no idea.
You don't know what this is?
That's the box that holds your brain cells?
No.
Okay, sorry.
No, this is a box, though. This is the box of hope. It is not the box of butt pirates. It is the clear box of hope. And it's got the
butt pirates. Butt pirates.
Oh my God!
All right, so now, before we got a lot to get to. We took a lot of time with this nonsense. Give me a quick minute, Dom, on the NFL in general. But what surprises you so far this year?
Arizona being 6-0. KC coming down to earth because Mahomes doesn't look good. And he shows that if you put pressure on him, that you can get to him. The Buffalo Bills are a good team. Josh Allen's better than what people thought. Belichick, he probably has a quarterback in Mac Jones, but his defense, and he's a defense specialist, is just not playing up to par.
Okay. Well, it's an interesting season. I buy into some of your stuff. I'm not surprised by the Bills. I think the Bills have I've been working toward this. I think a little bit of surprise for me. I didn't think the Chiefs would get to the Super Bowl. I am surprised by how badly they are playing. I think Mahomes is playing down and trying to do too much. If you guys saw the interception he threw this week, any other quarterback might have been benched after that. But I would say that's probably my biggest surprise. Yeah, I would say, Jeff, the Chiefs' play right now would be my biggest surprise of the season.
It's got to be up there within the top three, I would say. I mean, this is a team that I shouldn't say everybody, most everybody thought that this was going to be a serious Super Bowl contender for years to go.
Yeah.
For years to come. And I mean, right now, they don't seem to be able to get out of their own way.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would say that another big surprise to me is how fast Joe Burrow and the Bengals are moving along.
I agree with that. Yep.
Okay. And then another big surprise for me, and one that I'm happy, ecstatic to see it happen, is the rise of Dak, baby. Coming back from the injury and showing that he can play, that he's here to play, that he's here to deliver Dallas to the promised land, baby.
Another guy, another quarterback in that city that just hasn't done anything but win a couple of games in a regular season. Let me see them win a playoff game.
Green.
That's gonna be the next thing I pull up is I bleed green. Yeah, I got it. Don't worry. I have video evidence now. This will be a video that will be up on the screen for Sunday, and every time I bleed green. I got it.
I don't care. Listen, I don't care. I'm right here.
Yeah.
This is my favorite team.
You just said you don't even root for them.
I don't root for them.
It's not going to be your favorite team. You don't even root for them. You're like the worst fan. You are completely a fair weather fan.
No, I'm not.
I'll even give Nassib a little credit. By the way, 10-0 Broncos. Sometimes 10-0 Browns, and Teddy Two Gloves just threw a pick in the end zone. Again, an overrated team with another overrated quarterback that everybody likes to talk nice about. Teddy Bridgewater is completely overrated. That's a whole different story. Yeah.
No, I told you. Who did they beat to start the season?
Listen, I am not arguing your point. I think they're overrated. They're going to fall to third in that division at some point. And if nothing changes, your team's got a good shot at making the playoffs. Maybe by default, but they'll get there. They might get there. So, but the Broncos have to do a lot to get back in this game because they are playing like crap. So, Browns ball early in the second quarter, driving after the Teddy Bridgewater pick. Bad and a very bad pick to be honest with you. So, all right, listen, Nassib, it's been great. You're always welcome. You don't need an invitation. You got the number. You can call in, video in anytime you want. We love having you.
I love calling in, brother.
All right, my man. Good talking to you. Say hello to everybody at home.
Absolutely. You're all my best, Jeff. Love you, fat man.
Okay, sure, man. I'll see you soon, man.
90 seconds.
Oh, we have 9. Hit him with something for 90 seconds, huh?
Oh, butt pirates. Oh, butt pirates. Oh, butt pirates. Oh, butt pirates.
Gave you a little shotgun, a little machine gun blast, Dom.
Yeah.
See you later, pal.
Goodbye.
See you later, man.
All right, Nassib's gone. I think we were staying with that way longer than I expected to.
When you hit him with the first pirate,
yeah,
and it was just like old time's sake. Everything stopped.
Stopped right in his tracks.
Like, did I hear that right? What was that?
It's almost every time it happens. It's almost like the very first time it happened to him. It's almost like it's like he forgot that we could do this stuff to him.
Yeah.
Well, that's all. We had some fun. We'll talk about. Let's get to last week's games a little bit, Jeff. I want to. You know what? Let's do one more music thing for me before we move on.
Okay.
I was doing this today. I'm thinking about all these bands out and running around out there. All these you know, this guy left this band, 4 guys got together, made this band for one song, one album, and they moved on. And I said to myself, let me think of one guy that I would love to see leave his band
10 seconds
and go to another band. And I think it would just be awesome. I think it would fit so well. And I was trying to think about it all day today. And this is what I came up with. I would love to have seen Rob Halford in Iron Maiden. I think him singing the early Maiden stuff would be even better than I love Dickinson. Dickinson does a great job, don't get me wrong. But there's something about that early stuff with Di'Anno that's just gruffy and you know, just like more bass. I would love to have seen Rob Halford as the lead singer for Iron Maiden.
Really? I never thought of it.
That's the idea of
I don't know if it would be a good match. I don't know.
I don't know either, but I'd love to see that happen just one time and be able to go, you know, what? Not even just one time. I like to see him as the, you know, 2 albums and singing all that old stuff. I don't know. Just, you know, there's a lot of guys out there that could try. Like Blaze Bayley did a nice job. He's got a great voice, but never really kind of fit Maiden. So I was trying to think, like, what would be a singer? Like, you know, you saw like Gary Sharon and Van Halen didn't really work, and Sammy was okay, didn't do too bad, but you know, like who's those guys that would move from one band to another and we go, that would work? That's what I'm asking. So you have one top of your head?
No, not really. I mean, I don't know. I don't know, because a lot of these super groups don't really last very long. So even if they make a super group, it's not destined to run to the top of the class, so to speak. You know what I mean?
I agree. No, I agree. So I'm not even arguing that point. I'm just saying, forget whether they ever work, whether it be great,
Talk Radio.
any of that stuff. I'm just saying, is there one guy that you would say, hey, I wish Dimebag would have joined Metallica? I would love to hear how that works. I'm throwing the thing out there. So to me, I know it's never going to happen. The super groups, for the most part, suck. Who's the guy that I wanted to see in another? You know, I heard all the time that there's always that talk of Eddie Van Halen wanted to join Kiss. I don't know how much I believe it, but that would interest me. Like, I think that'd be interesting to see. Could he dumb himself down enough to play in Kiss? You know, so that's a couple of guys I came up with today.
Know that it was him playing, though.
Huh?
I still think you would have known that it was him playing.
That's kind of the problem, that it wouldn't work because he couldn't dumb himself down. Like, you know, his style is his style. So I agree. So the other thing I wanted to talk about, I heard this being talked about on the radio the other day. I forget which, I was somewhere on Sirius, and they were talking about underrated bands. I know we've talked about this 100 times. I've come down to, there are 2 bands I think are the most underrated bands I ever listened to. Bands who were great bands, just never kind of got that push to the top. And I came up with 2, and then I'm trying to figure out which of these guys are the most underrated. And the first one's easy. It's UFO. UFO, I think, is underrated. You know, great band, so much influence on other bands. Never kind of got that push to the top. And then the other one, because of where they came from and because of who's in front of them, Triumph. Those are my 2 bands that I would say are the most underrated bands of all time, in my opinion. And I'm not sure who I pick first, but I would say, to me, obviously UFO, you know, they're underrated. Take a look. I think Triumph is the most underrated band of all time. I really do. I think they had such great music. They did such great stuff, a lot of good stuff, a lot of great music, but it never really got to that level.
No, it never did.
Yeah,
it never did. I don't know if how familiar you are with some of Triumph's other music.
I am. I own 3 or 4 albums, and I've listened to it. It's, you know, listen, they, you know, Laying on the Line, Magic Power, Allied Forces. You know, they Fight the Good Fight. They have, you know, World of Fantasy. There's 5 or 6 top songs, and then there's some good stuff. But these guys were great. I think they just were just an amazing band. Their documentary's coming out, and I want to make sure I catch it. But do you have a band that you would say these guys were great and it just never caught on?
I don't know. I mean, you know, UFO could fit into that category.
Absolutely.
Flotsam and Jetsam, when they were first coming out, they had Jason Newsted could have fit into that category. Sometimes I think that Overkill could fit into that. The original Overkill could fit into that category. Yeah, because this is a band that never really got to.
Yes.
They never played Madison Square Garden. They never, they were a thrash band, big thrash band, but they never got to the heights of some of these other bands.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that they had some good songs. And I think that at the time they got steamrolled by Metallica. So, because Metallica was so big, it kind of hurt some of these bands that were good quality bands. Exodus, I think, is another good band that could have maybe taken the next step forward, but was never able to because they were busy helping Slayer, with Gary Holt going to help Slayer, and just them kind of being held down like with the big four. I think Anthrax was an overrated band. I think that you could have put Overkill, Exodus in that place with the big four.
Yeah, I overrated bands. I tell you what, I'll give you a band I think is the most overrated band of all time, and you're probably going to disagree with me, but Whitesnake. There's some great stuff.
I don't disagree with you.
I just think they're so over. They got 2 songs that are very popular, and they come on now, and it's like my hair in the back of my neck stands up. I can't listen to it. It just
they came out at the right time.
Oh, absolutely.
And they were putting their stuff out at the right time. And here's the best part. If you listen to some old Whitesnake, okay, Slide It In album, they are completely different than the Whitesnake that became famous with Tawny Katane dancing on car videos.
Right.
So if you really listen to Whitesnake, Slide It In, what's the name of a couple other Nice, Slow and Easy? These are like bluesy type fucking songs. And just you'd have to hear them to definitely understand what I'm saying. And you probably agree with me on it, but it is what it is. I remember going to see Whitesnake during 1987 because of Still in the Night and all of those songs that they put out at that time. And unfortunately, they opened up for Motley Crue. So I got stuck watching fucking Motley Crue.
Worst band live ever.
I have to be up there. But you know what? I remember watching Whitesnake, and they were pretty good at the time.
I'm not saying they weren't.
Steve Vai and Adrian Vandenberg on guitar.
I'm not saying they were. I just find them to be the most overrated band. I mean, they have 2 really big songs, but they still played constantly on the radio. I don't know. To me, there's some bad bands. I'm just for what people talk to them about. I just find them to be overrated. There's so many different versions of the band. And again, I just 2 songs. To me, I'm sure Slide It In is not a bad song. I get it. I've listened to it. I probably like that better than, but boy, I got to tell you, after a while, I just can't listen to them anymore.
Adrian Vandenberg, who was in Whitesnake, is 67 years old. He will be 68 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
Could you imagine? Adrian Vandenberg is only 5 years younger than my dad. It's just weird to me.
Adrian Vandenberg is 5 years younger than your dad?
Yeah, and 2 years younger than my mom.
Well, guess what? Here's David Coverdale, 70 years old.
He looks like he's 80.
He looks like he's about 170 years old.
Yeah.
These guys that were in Whitesnake together. Rudy Sarzo, 70 years old.
Wow.
Jesus Christ. Vivian Campbell. Let's see where this motherfucker is. 59 years old. And Steve Vai, another
Steve Vai's got to be 65, no?
61.
That's it?
That's it.
Wow. Unbelievable. Hey, Hard Rocket Sports, Jeff and Tom here breaking it down for you every week, every Thursday night, 7 to 9:30. So make sure you guys stick around. Got a little more football to get to. We've had the guys from the band Pressure was on with Simon and Ollie, the new lead singer, one of the new singers in the band. We had Nassib on, my dad. So lots of good stuff.
Nassib.
Was violence underrated in your opinion? I'm not. Whitesnake does suck. I don't know, Joe Flynn. I can't really speak too much about violence, Jeff. You want to? Can you?
I can't say anything about him because I don't even remember them.
Yeah, I know that's where Bobby Gustafson is now in the band Violence.
Yeah,
he was out on the West Coast touring, and glad for. I've heard some of their newer stuff. It's not bad. It's just not my thing. I can't speak to them because I don't know enough about them. So I'll have to lay off that one.
Yeah,
Yeah, it just never crossed my path, Joe. I'm not a thrash guy. If they're considered thrash, I told Bobby Gustafson joined. I didn't know who they were.
They're considered thrash, but up until, like you're saying, up until that point, there were bigger thrash bands.
Sure.
You know, when you're up against Metallica and Megadeth and Anthrax and the rest of them, bands like Violence, you know, that's why, like, I remember asking Bobby the question. I was like, you've been writing your own material. You were out of the loop for so long, writing your own material.
Yeah.
And with Satan's Taint and what was the other one that he was doing, Bobby Gustafson?
Recently or before? Still wasn't like Cycle Sluts or...
No. Joe, it doesn't matter what Violence album you're talking about. It's just the opinion on all of them. I don't remember them.
Yeah, I have to be honest with you. I've listened to a handful of songs lately because Bobby was coming on the show and I wanted to get caught up. I couldn't name it. I probably couldn't even, if you played it, I couldn't pick it out. So I have to beg off on this one. It's when they were almost pioneers. It's hard for me to call them pioneers of thrash. I
wouldn't call them pioneers of thrash because I never heard of them.
Yeah, I got to be honest, Bobby.
He was in there.
Yeah, when I look back to those days, I mean, I obviously go to the big four with Metallica and Slayer and the like. Anthrax. And Anthrax is kind of on the border. And I think Jeff hit it on the head. I think Overkill should have been that next band in that group, and they kind of fell. You know, maybe if Bobby would have stayed, it would have been different for them. I'm not really sure. But I can't put Violence as a pioneer of thrash. I never heard of them until Bobby joined. Not to say that other people who are thrash people, maybe Joe, maybe your crowd, if you're a thrash guy, maybe you followed them a lot more than I did. I was never a big thrash guy, to be honest with you. I'm not, still not. There are a lot of good stuff I like now. Jeff turned me on to a lot of stuff, but it's not my thing. But so I can't answer them being pioneers. To me, pioneers is probably Overkill. I mean, they were one of the first guys, first bands doing it. Metallica, I would put as a pioneer. You know, after that, everybody else joined into the crowd, I think.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's a couple other bands that have been around equally as long, and we know one of them. I'm not even going to bring them up right now because I don't want anybody to think I'm bad-mouthing them.
Yeah,
I'm bringing them up by name, but they're one of these bands that they were around for 100 years, but never heard of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Never heard of them until as of late, recent.
Yeah,
Violence is definitely one of those bands. I did not know them.
Yeah, no, I agree. And again, Joe, I'm gonna write it down. Eternal Nightmare. I'll take a listen to it. If you pop up next week, I'll try to give you some answers on it. But again, until Bobby joined Violence a couple months back or whatever it was, I had no idea. Who they were. So, Jeff, we got a couple more minutes. About 15 minutes left of the show. I want to go over some of Sunday's games that we have a chance to talk about. And we'll end it with that. A couple surprises for me last week, Jeff. Chargers get routed by the Ravens. I obviously the worst game I've seen that team play. It was on TV. A little surprising for both ends. I think Lamar played great. The team played really well. But surprised that not a better effort for the Chargers.
Yeah, I thought that the Chargers would have made it a better game than what they did. I would have thought the Chargers were a better team, to be honest with you.
I agree with you.
Well, I shouldn't say the better team, but a better team. I was just kind of surprised. Didn't work out for them. So, now they're got another game in the loss column. So, is what it is.
Yep, that was a tough game. Jaguars, Dolphins game turned out to be a pretty good game. A little surprising, obviously, the outcome. I tell you the truth, I had basically written that team off. The Jags, not that they're going to win a playoff game or anything, but I almost thought that they'd given up on their coach. There's too much locker room bullshit. But a big win for that team. And again, you didn't beat the Buccaneers, but I thought it was a good win for the Jags in London.
Any win is a good win. But I think maybe playing in London helped them take away some of the distractions.
I think that you're probably right. Being on the road, getting out of town might have been a good thing for them. A little surprising, the Chiefs. I can't say it's surprising the Chiefs won. I'm surprised how bad the Washington defense has been. The Skins. I think a lot of us came to the season. It was almost a foregone conclusion they were going to have the best defense. That all those number ones on the defensive line. Jeff, it hasn't shown up in Washington this year.
No, it hasn't. There's a lot of things that haven't shown up in Washington this year, but I guess it's what are they, like 2-4, the Redskins?
They are exactly 2-4. Yes,
2-4. I mean, listen, we already knew going in they weren't going to win the NFC East and they weren't getting a playoff spot. But you would like to have seen them take another step forward. Didn't they last year? They had a playoff win or at least one playoff game.
Well, they went to the playoffs. They won the division last year. I mean, a bad division, but they won it. But here's the surprising part: that defense has given up the most points in the entire NFL.
Wow.
Yeah, 186 points. The next closest team, Jeff, is 177. That's Miami. Houston and Jacksonville, 172. So a little surprising. This was a defense that most people thought was going to be top 5 in the NFL. And I would tell you is, based on just points allowed, which to me is the most important stat you could have, they're at the very bottom.
Yeah.
So a little surprising there. I think you could be seeing a coach change there with that team. A little surprising. Raiders Broncos, a little surprising. I thought the Raiders, after the whole John Gruden thing, would be falling apart, but a good job by the Raiders, Nassib's team, and getting back on it with a big win there against the Broncos.
What do you think he has in common with Nassib?
Say again?
What do you think little Nassib has in common with big Nassib?
I don't know. What does he have in common?
I don't know. I'm just asking. Do you think they share the same hobby?
Yes, I think they might share the same hobby, if you want to consider it a hobby.
Really?
I would tell you the best game of the weekend that I saw, that Tennessee, I don't know if you saw the Monday night game, Tennessee and Buffalo was a really good football game. And if you want to, people talk about MVPs and most of the quarterbacks, I got to tell you, Derrick Henry is probably the best player in this league. I mean, that guy won that game by himself. He kept them in it. And he is probably the biggest force. If that team had a defense, the way he runs the football, Jeff, they would almost be impossible to stop. He is that good a player.
Yeah, he is good. But something, Tom, he's a running back. It's already been shown that you don't need a premier back to win in the league.
I agree.
He could be. It's already shown that you're one fucking twisted ankle away from fucking season up and possibly your career. So you got to watch. If you rely on him too much, and he goes down, that's it. Your game is wrong.
Agreed, 100%. And last but not least, I don't know if you watched it, but to me, the best game of the weekend was the New England Dallas game. I mean, it was a great football game, top to bottom. It was one of those games that I didn't really want to watch, but I wound up sticking with it. And I thought New England did a great job. Did you see any of the game?
The last 2 minutes, I had people at my house.
Okay.
I really couldn't pay attention much to what was going on in the game. But the last 2 minutes, I forget who was winning at the time, and I'm like, look at this shit. This isn't going to work out well. And the people in my house are like looking at me like, what did you just say? Because we were getting ready to play cards or something, and they didn't really notice I was watching the TV.
Gotcha.
I was fucking around. We were just playing some friendly cards. And all of a sudden I look and I'm like, now the other team is winning. I'm like, motherfucker.
Well, it's a good.
Like 3 lead changes at the end of the game.
Yeah. So Dallas is losing. What's his name? Mac Jones throws a bad pass, tipped off the receiver's hands, and the kid Driggs takes it back for a touchdown, and he is whooping it up, and he's giving and all that good stuff. And listen, you make a big play like that, you deserve it. The very next possession, now they're up. It's late in the game. Mac Jones gets the ball back, and on the very next play, throws a post against the same corner, 75-yard touchdown. There goes, now they're up and it's getting late. Dallas ties it. It's overtime. Great football game. Obviously I was rooting for New England to win it. They wound up not being able to score with the ball in the overtime, and Dallas went down the field and scored a touchdown. And a great job by Dak Prescott and that team. I think that, but I have to tell you, one thing I'm come out of that with, I cannot listen to Tony Romo. Oh my God, he's got to stop. I mean, I'm all for, you say the team's good, but he was sucking Jerry Jones' ass and the Cowboys. I couldn't listen to it no more. I want to shut the volume off. That's how bad it was. Oh, this team's great. They're gonna win. They can win a Super Bowl. Listen, they haven't made a playoff game in a while. Let's get to the playoffs first.
Oh, come on. Hey, guy's a long-time Cowboy. What do you think he's going to say? He's got to say something.
You're doing a national football game. Listen, if you're on the Dallas radio network and you're doing their games, you want to be a homer, I'm all for it. You're doing a national football game. You do not root for any of the teams. You report on what you're seeing. You can get out there and say, hey, this is an impressive team. You know, they gotta, but you really had to listen to it. I was gonna text you and say, Jeff, are you listening? And see what you thought. And I for some reason I think I remember you saying you were busy. And I'll just tell you that it was hard to listen to. But probably the best football game of the weekend. Monday night was close. Yeah, Monday night was close. But this game, it's one of those games, Jeff. It was a little bit of offense, a lot of defense, strategy. It was a good football game to watch. It wasn't like a 10-3 game. It wasn't a 40-something, 30-something game. It was right in the middle of that, and it was just good football. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I hear you.
Last thing of the night for me, Jeff, is I want to talk to you about this weekend's game because I'm not sure how much I'll talk to you on Sunday. So I was going through the schedule, and boy, oh boy, this might be one of the worst set of games that I've seen in a long time. So I'm going to run down the list, and you tell me. Jeff Towinski comes home. You got to watch these games. So you tell me, is this a game you got to watch or you don't care?
Okay, we'll see.
All right, here we go. Ready? The 1 o'clock games. Carolina at the Giants.
No, that's bad.
Okay.
Although there's storylines behind these games.
Well, again, these are personal. I'm just talking if you were just a general fan, you're not there because of Sam Darnold. Just talking in general. If anybody who's waking up in London, England, ain't caring about this game. Somebody in Kansas City's not caring about it. I'm just saying the general fan. Here's what I'm talking. Okay, so Jets at New England again. Storyline maybe, but Jets at New England that a game?
That's an AFC East division game. So yeah, that's always a good game to watch. It starts off okay. Whether it's finished that way is another story.
Okay, next one: Atlanta and Miami.
No, nobody gives a fuck about that. Even the people in Atlanta and Miami don't give a fuck about that.
This might be the one. The next two games might be decent games. Okay, Cincinnati at Baltimore.
Yeah, that could be a good one. That's an AFC North matchup. So yeah, that's a good one.
Okay, and both teams are playing well, top of their division. Okay, so there's a good one. Kansas City at Tennessee.
I'd say a couple steps below that one.
Yeah,
between the Cincinnati-Baltimore game, only because of the way that Kansas City's playing.
Correct. Washington at Green Bay.
No, nobody gives a fuck.
Right. Detroit at the Rams.
Oh my God.
Philadelphia at Las Vegas.
If you thought the Giants got destroyed, this game may be a fucking 40-point fucking difference.
It might be. Philadelphia at Las Vegas.
Wow, man. Jeez, what is that? A rematch of a Super Bowl like 15?
Yeah, it's 1980. You're probably right.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yes, that's it.
That was horrible back then, from what I remember.
Yeah, Chicago at Tampa Bay.
All right, that's not that's the future versus the past versus the present, so to speak. Okay. So let's see what can happen. That could be a decent.
All right. I'll give you that one. I'm not running to the screen for that one, but okay. Houston at Arizona.
Phew, man.
Yeah. Indianapolis at San Francisco.
I'm going to take that one. Indianapolis and San Francisco, you said?
Yeah.
No, different game. Sorry. No, nobody. That's another one. No.
Okay. How about Buffalo and Jacksonville?
Who the fuck made up these games?
I'm telling you, this might be one of the worst weeks I've ever seen. We got two more.
This is the Sunday nighter, I'm guessing.
Now you get into the Sunday night game. This is the prime time game. Theory not a bad one, but I'm not sure. Chargers and the Steelers.
Yeah, I can watch that one.
Okay, so we got to one. This one, I'm sorry, that's not the Sunday night. That's still an afternoon game. You got the night game is Dallas and Minnesota.
Not really one.
I'm sorry. No, I apologize. Buffalo, Jacksonville, Chargers, Pittsburgh, and Dallas, Minnesota all on buys. I'm sorry. The Sunday night game, I apologize, is the Indianapolis Frisco game. That's the standalone Sunday night game is Indianapolis at San Francisco.
Sunday night, 7:30 PBS. It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
So with that side, and the Monday night game is Saints and Seattle.
Oh my God!
It's a brutal week, Jeff. I have to tell you, it's a brutal week.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Who came up with this schedule?
I don't know. It's brutal. The holy cow. So the Browns got a kick blocked, 10-0 with 2 minutes left in the first half. Broncos haven't done much but blocked the kick. So, Jeff, I'm going to start winding this down unless you got something you want to add.
No, I don't even know if I want to do the show next week after hearing this list of fucking.
Yeah, I got to tell you, we better come up with some good angles because there might not be a lot to talk about after. Well, I'll say this: just with the Jets and Giants. So you got the Giants reeling and Sam Darnold coming back, seeing ghosts.
Well, now let me explain why I think that this is going to be a good game to watch.
That one, okay, yeah, please tell me, yeah.
Because there's going to be storylines amongst storylines. First of all, Sam Darnold went okay for the first 3 games, been fucking up a lot for the next 3 games. He's just been playing horrible. I guess he's got a lot of injuries. He's just not getting back on the board. He's not doing anything with his team.
Yep.
So this is big because, in my estimation, Sam Darnold is starting to fucking fall apart. And I think that it's really going to start to hit hard. One of these teams is going to start to definitely go in even the worst direction. And for each one, it's bad. For the Panthers, it's definitely bad because of Darnold. But for the Giants, it could be bad for Gettleman, Judge, and Jones.
Can't argue. I can't argue. Now, we'll see. I do not believe that I think the next general manager is already in their building. It's the guy who's working with him. He worked for the Patriots for a lot of years, so I believe their next general manager is already in their building. I don't know the guy's name top of my head, so I don't think they're going to go outside the organization. I think if and when Gettleman gets fired, the guy who's working with him is already going to be the GM. So I do not believe there will be massive changes there. I think they believe in Judge at this point. So do I. Although I have some questions, and I'm questioning how some of these guys are playing, but I'm going to blame that on the general manager and injuries. I do think that Judge will get at least one more year. I don't believe after the second year they'll fire him, and I don't think Daniel Jones is going away. I think he's played well enough the last 15 games that he's good. He's going to be at least thought of as the quarterback in the future. I don't think that's going to change. Now, if he plays the way he did Sunday, the rest of the year, all bets are off. But I think there's been a huge improvement, and we'll see how that plays out. I think the biggest question after Gettleman, and that's not a question, I think the biggest question for the Giants right now is Barkley, like you said. I think that is the biggest question they have.
I got to be honest with you. I think that if Gettleman goes, there could be a domino effect, which affects a lot of different people, including the coach and the quarterback. But, that remains to be seen. The owner already said that it wasn't a playoff mandate.
Correct.
But, it is different now.
No.
They're just not getting any better.
Well, no, what he said was, I'm not tying it to you have to make the playoffs. I think if the Giants had gone, 9-8 or 10-7, missed the playoffs, but had been markedly better, I think everybody's safe. If the Giants are going to go, 4-13, I think could be wholesale changes. I just don't think that knowing the Maras, I don't think they're going to go outside the organization. They're not a team. I think they believe wholeheartedly in Joe Judge. I would be shocked if there were wholesale changes that way. I really do. I think you'd be starting all over. I don't think this team can afford to start all over again. But listen, you bring a new general manager, and you said it. You never know what to expect.
Let me ask you something. All right, and then we can end it on this if you like.
Go ahead.
Okay, you say that you don't think that they could afford to start all over again.
No, I don't.
What is it that they started? Because their offensive line is in flux. Their receivers are injured. They signed an injured receiver. Their running back is injured. Their quarterback, all right, is the victim of a bad offensive line. No weapons. You know what I mean? So it's like, where are they excelling? They overpaid for Leonard Williams. I don't care what he does the rest of the year. They overpaid for Leonard Williams. Where are they excelling that you say that you could see something good for next year? Because I don't see nothing.
Well, again, listen. I watch a lot more Giant football than you do, so you're relying on highlights or lowlights, whatever you want to call them, and what you read in the paper. I will tell you this: I think Andrew Thomas has made huge strides this year. Other than getting his ankle rolled on this weekend, he was rated the best of the 4 guys drafted. Now, Mekhi Beckham has been out all year, so it's hard to put him in that category. But he's been the best rated of the 4. He's also been in the top 5 or 6 tackles. He's had a great season so far. Unfortunately, missing the next 3 games because of injury. I love their receiver core. I think Shepard, Slayton, Kadarius Toney's been great. Yes, the injuries are a problem. So, yeah, I agree with you. But if healthy, I think there's a good set of Giant receivers. They got a couple of good offensive linemen. My problem has been so far, I'm not questioning the offense. I think the offense is okay. My bigger problem has been the defense. I've been completely let down by what this defense did last year versus this year. So I think the big problem is this whole defense is going to have to be reevaluated for next year. And that's the problem is I thought the defense was Super Bowl ready. Or playoff ready, I should say. Sorry.
I don't know, man. It certainly doesn't seem that way, but
no, it's hard to argue. I did. You're 1-5. You got completely embarrassed in your own building. You're like 9-16 in your last 20-something, 25 home games. All bets are off. So I agree with you. At this point, I think Gettleman should be, checking the wire for a new place to live.
Yeah.
I just don't see it. But how much do you blame injuries again? How much do you blame certain things? I think Daniel Jones has made huge strides. I think there's some good stuff on the offensive line with Gates before he broke his leg. Thomas has been really good. There's some good stuff there. I think the receiving core is really good. It just you got to stay healthy. So it's hard to pick on certain things. Like if your Gettleman did a nice job, the problem you can't help is these guys all got hurt. How do you blame him for guys getting injured? These aren't guys who just come out there and have a play. I mean, he drafted Kadarius Toney. People laughed at it. The guy's been fantastic. Turned his ankle. Now he's out. So there's the crazy part of it, Jeff.
Well, listen, I mean, Barkley's gotten injured every year that he's been on the team. Kadarius Toney, not only did he get injured, he did that stupid shit. He threw a punch where that if he has a good season, they'll forget about it. If he has a shitty season, he's going to get compared to Odell Beckham, and nobody's going to ever forget that he threw that punch. You know that.
No, listen, I agree. I what I've seen from him the last few games, he is a serious player. Now, again, it could turn into the whole Odell Beckham thing where he has one great year or a part of a great year, and then it just, it never materializes. So I get it. But what I've seen so far, the kid is dynamic and really kind of impossible. He is, I will tell you, a lighter version of Tyreek Hill. He's that kind of, he's not as fast, but boy, can he make people miss him. It's unbelievable. I've never seen a guy like that in a long time. So, but you're right. I think the biggest question for me as a Giant fan, and I love the guy, I love his ability, but what do you do with Barkley? He's coming up. He's going to want a big contract, and I just wouldn't give it to him. I would not put the money in that pot right now. I just wouldn't do it.
No, I wouldn't do it either. And if he wants it, that's even more of a reason to be like, you got to be fucking nuts.
Yeah, and again, if he came in and said, "Listen, I'll take a 1-year deal, $15 million, whatever," I'll play into it, and he comes back this year and has a good year and has another good year. Okay, I'll consider it. But I got to be honest with you, I'm kind of with you. I'm almost afraid to pay a running back that kind of money. I think your money's better well spent other places. I think you can do.
You know what I would do. Do you know what he's making this year?
I don't know. It's probably like $5 or $8 million. It's his last year of his rookie contract.
He won. If first of all, I haven't heard any of his demands.
I haven't either. I didn't hear any of that either.
15. I tell him, say, listen, we could be in the middle on a 1-year deal. We want to give you 8. You want 15. All right. Well, let's go up. I'll give you 11 and a half. You know what I mean?
No,
prove to me that you could stay healthy and
I agree. I agree, Jeff. Wholeheartedly. I would do something like that. I would have no problem with it, but I don't. You know what the problem is? A guy like that gets out in the market and somebody will give him a big contract.
Eventually, yeah.
Yeah. Somebody, whether a team like Detroit that's starving for big players, teams like the Texans, who are starving for talent, they were going to give they have cap money. They'll spend the money. A team like the Chargers, people who need a dynamic running back may give him a 3-year deal for big money. Who knows? But as a Giant fan, they don't have enough cap space, and I am afraid to give him a long-term deal because it just hasn't panned out. Whether I blame him,
Tommy, you know what? Even if they do give him a long-term deal, chances are it's going to be a team-friendly deal that they could get out of after a while because
they all are.
You're going to want this guy.
Yeah, I think that's the rub, Jeff. Does he have another option? Is anybody else going to go out there and give him the deal that he wants? I don't know. I mean, the guy just hasn't stayed healthy. So we'll see what happens. But I think that's the biggest conundrum for me is, as a Giant fan, I love the guy's ability. I love what he should bring to this team. He just can't stay healthy enough to do it. So I'm afraid to give him the long-term deal if I was a Giant.
I hear you. It's a dangerous move.
Absolutely. But again, guys, you want to talk more football? Sunday morning, the Sunday Audible, joined by Odell drops another pass. It looks like he's hurt again. Boy, that guy has just had a terrible career. Looks like he's hurt his shoulder, I think, at this point. Anyway, you want to talk more football? Come on down to the Sunday Audible. We break down all the games, best bets. This week, I'll announce to Jeff's back. We have a beat writer from the Pittsburgh Steelers, one of their beat writers that shows up every week to their games, and Jim Wexel, who happens to be a personal friend of John Marhefka, will be joining the team this Sunday morning to talk Pittsburgh Steelers and maybe some NFL. So if you're around on Sunday morning, 9 a.m., turn into the Sunday Audible and catch us out there doing our thing. Jeff, you got anything else you want to add?
No, man. I think we've touched base on just about everything.
All right. So listen, thank you to Sam Bone for lining up today's guests. Thanks to Simon and Ollie for joining us from the band Pressure. Again, thanks to my dad for checking in. Thanks to our good buddy Nasib, as he is now officially known for he's like whack-a-mole.
Until we decide to change his name.
Yeah, he's like whack-a-mole. He kind of pops up every once in a while. We hit him in the head and he goes away, and he'll come back a couple weeks from now.
Yeah, there you go.
He's officially the whack-a-mole. Again, thanks to everybody who's popped up online tonight and some people texting me off the air. And thanks to everybody listening around the world on the Blog Talk Radio Network, because we seem to be popping in all sorts of countries. So thanks to everybody out there. And, of course, we'll be back next Thursday night when we do this all over again on the Hard Rocket Sports Show. So for Jeff Talwinski and myself, have a great weekend. Enjoy your football. There's not a lot of great games. Enjoy your football. Enjoy the weekend, and we'll see you next week right here on the Hard Rocket Sports Show.
And just remember, if we could end up in the fucking living rooms of Uzbekistan,
yes,
you could be in your living room and watch us for a little bit, man. Just a few minutes. Come on, man.
I would agree. If the people in Uzbekistan, and I'm sure they're out online for the bread and all the other stuff, the least you could do is turn the TV on right here.
There you go.
So again, for Jeff and myself, have a great night, great weekend, and a great week. We'll see you next Thursday night on the Hard Rocket Sports Show. Have fun. Talk to you off the air, man.
Later, man.
Later.
Bye.